At the Nanlian base, urgent calls woke up Tan Feng. Opening his eyes, he saw the familiar face of Susu. She scolded him for being late and asked if he'd report to Captain Chen. After a dazed second, he sprang up like a spring. Tan Feng hugged her emotionally, asking why she only appeared in dreams now. Susu froze, hearing she'd been gone for 3 years. Furious, she denied it and slapped him hard. In truth, Tan Feng had crossed into a parallel world full of spirit beasts. Only elemental power users could kill those monsters. The state trained gifted kids early, and Tan Feng was one of them. He activated a system in a deserted alley to test his powers. Results: wind 0.7, thunder 0.7, ice 0.5, lacking talent. Tan Feng sighed in despair, then the system granted a rookie bonus, boosting his wind stat. His wind talent instantly reached the mortal peak. Tan Feng trembled with excitement at his new strength. Even the city lord here was only at genius level. Most elementalists were just average. Only 7 people in the world had supreme talent. The system gave him the meditation art and gotcha skill Devour, yet he still didn't know how to use them. The system then gifted a level 4 wind beast core. Tan Feng curiously wondered if he could absorb it. Susu was going on patrol. He feared he wasn't strong enough to protect her. Thinking of her, he decided to swallow the beast core. He reached late stage strong body realm. With wind ratio 84, overjoyed, Tan Feng believed beast hunting was the key to power. At 100, had become a 1-star wind elementalist. The system suddenly issued a god-tier mission to reach 100 wind ratio. It had 3 difficulty levels, great rewards, tight time. With 84, he only needed 1 more level 2 core, but it cost 100,000, and he had half that. As the timer ticked down, a bold idea struck him. He chose the hardest level and dashed into the city. The dazzling downtown made him dizzy. He went to City Hall to upgrade his citizen rank. That status would grant him enough subsidy to buy the core. At the door, receptionist Xiao Lu greeted him and asked his request. He stated his goal, and she showed him the way. Hearing about citizen rank, everyone stared in shock. Citizen ranks were elite, near noble, and legally privileged. Xiao Lu bowed respectfully and led Tan Feng to the 10th floor VIP office. There they met the manager, Wang Zheng. Xiao Lu introduced Tan Feng reverently as seeking rank upgrade. Wang Zheng was stunned that a teen aimed for such status. He invited him to sit, guessing the plainly dressed boy was a strong body expert. While admiring the luxury, Tan Feng learned there were ranked tiers. Xiao Lu explained the 4 citizen levels and their subsidies. Tan Feng asked if he'd get the money right away. Wang Zheng confirmed. He agreed to prove his strength without hesitation. He conjured a small swirling gust in his hand. Xiao Lu gasped at his early strong body stage. Wang Zheng nodded in approval. Wang planned to grant rank 1 with 10,000 coins, but Tan Feng asked about rank 2, hearing it required mid-stage power. He unleashed stronger winds to prove it. Wang Jing was shocked and hurried to file the rank 2 papers. Xiaoli looked at Tan Feng with admiration, seeing him as a hero. Before the signing finished, Tan Feng suddenly spoke up again. He wanted to jump straight to rank 3, floating midair radiating charm. Wang Jing froze at his late-stage strong body aura. While Xiaoli was smitten, Tan Feng laughed, realizing he'd shown off too much. Wang Jing handed him a bank card with 60,000 after paperwork. Calm outside. Tan Feng rejoiced inside he could finally afford the core. The man also gifted him a free phone link to his ed. Tan Feng mused that such a gadget was luxury for ordinary folks. Done. He left the building with both seeing him off. Wang Jing told Xiao Liu to always lead him to VIP next time. She obeyed but sneakily asked for his number. Wang Jing stopped her, saying Tan Feng would soon be a big shot. An hour later, he spent 100,000 on a level 3 wind beast core. Quietly, he swallowed it near the square's corner. System absorption successful. Wind ratio 100. Mission complete. First reward, a massive storage ring. Next reward, boosted lightning aptitude. Plus, a level 4 lightning beast core. Feeling it matched him, he decided to absorb that too. System confirmed success. Lightning ratio rose to 85. Stats 1 at elementalist grade. Lightning at late strong body. Power total 243. Overjoyed, he shouted, finally a true elementalist. He realized he was twice as strong as peers and could train 3 elements. Right then, a new training mission activated. Goal, raise lightning to elementalist for a water element reward. He called Susu to celebrate, taking her to the lively night street. In a fancy restaurant, Susu complained about sky-high prices. He vowed to help her become a citizen soon. She doubted it, knowing that rank wasn't easy. Tan Feng gently patted her head, promising care she guessed had struck gold. Suddenly, speakers announced Lin Chinyang became the youngest ice elementalist. The name sounded familiar, and Susu praised him excitedly. She said most elementalists reached that level after 40. Tan Feng was surprised that Captain Chen Ming was already 47. He recalled the man's youthful face and discussed elementalist longevity. Impressing her, she urged him to continue his money-making tale. He grinned and flashed his bank card, declaring his citizen status. Susu was stunned, recognizing that noble card. He smirked, saying she only needed to believe in his strength. She hugged him tearfully while he teased her sweetly. She offered to handle cooking so he could focus on earning. Blushing, she asked if she looked like a wife yet. He laughed, told her to eat more, and asked what else she wanted. After dinner, he carried her sleeping form as she mumbled he was better than Lin Chianyang. Smiling warmly, he watched her sleep peacefully. Suddenly, he recalled Lin Chianyang's true identity. He was the brother of the man who killed Su Su in their past life. That old accident had a witness. Cameras once caught Lin Hyang intentionally ramming her with his car, but when evidence was demanded, authorities claimed the data was lost. Witnesses, terrified, refused to testify. The Lin family used power to bury the case. Tan Feng never gave up, wandering to seek the truth. Along the way, he learned Lin Haiyang had a brother studying abroad. He suspected the Lin clan hid a murder plot, and now both brothers might appear together. 2 days later would coincide with the time Susu died in the past life. Thinking of that, he jumped up, eyes blazing with resolve. He swore to become an elementalist to protect his love. The next morning, he went to City Hall to meet Wang Zheng again. Seeing his power, Wang Zheng was stunned, had reached perfection overnight. Xiaoli was amazed by such rare talent at 17. Rivaling the city lord, everyone believed he'd surpass even the high leaders one day. He restrained his aura, proud of progress that took others years. He requested an upgrade straight to citizen rank 4 and got immediate help. While waiting, he seriously asked Wang Zheng for a personal favor. He wanted to make a residence card for his younger brother moving in. Wang Zheng gladly agreed to handle it without meeting in person. The subsidy money was quickly transferred to his account. Once done, he thanked them, and Wang Zheng smiled, saying it was nothing. He realized flaunting power now might endanger Susu, so he told Wang Zheng to keep his true strength secret. Wang Zheng swore absolute secrecy, letting him leave at ease. Then he disguised himself as Tan Mu and entered the office to find Wei Huang. Wang Zheng was puzzled, and Xiaolu dazzled by his stunning looks. He coughed lightly, introducing himself as Tan Feng's younger brother. Both acted calm but inwardly suspicious. He made up a twin brother story when asked why he came. He replied he wanted joint residency and blamed Tan Feng for acting alone. Pretending angry, he tossed the card, saying that title shamed him. He demanded promotion to rank 4 and revealed real power. Wang Zheng and Xiao Liu trembled, seeing his lightning at supreme level. Smirking, he asked how they liked that. Then he asked if they still doubted the brothers' relation. Wang Zheng instantly believed no one could train multi-element, so they must be two. Sternly, he urged them to finish paperwork. Wang Zheng obeyed, noting how unlike Tan Feng he was. Tanma's file was done. He received card, phone, and funds. Smiling in satisfaction, he bid farewell and left. Once gone, both sighed in relief, praising how exceptional the brothers were. In private, he grinned. Multi-element meant easy money, 100k earned. Beast core bought, plus new contact for Susu. Staring at the core, he chuckled bitterly. Money came fast, went faster. His lightning ratio hit 93, just one step from perfection. Without hesitation, he swallowed the core and triggered his skill. Devour power activated, lightning ratio 100. Mission cleared. Reward ice aptitude boost. System reported wind and lightning at elementalist level. Ice at genius level. Perception. He told himself that even weak, an ice genius was still rare. The system granted a level 4 ice beast core next. A bright blue crystal shimmered into view. He instantly swallowed it. System confirmed successful absorption. Ice element rose to late strong body. Combat power 417, nearly invincible below top tier. He believed he could now protect Susu. Only the Lin family remained. Suddenly, a god-tier challenge mission activated. The mission demanded all 3 elements reach a limit win for grand reward. Lose and die, hearing death. He angrily yelled at the system. The system replied there was a resurrection mechanism. Easing him slightly, it warned if any element exceeded the limit, had lose the challenge chance. He hesitated, fearing the risk. Finally, he shouted to take the gamble. The system confirmed, granting the war god skill and preparing transfer to the fire realm. When the countdown ended, he was sucked into a blazing red space. A fireball whooshed past his head, scorching the air. System target is a level 1 fire spirit. Early strong body, stage danger moderate. Without hesitation, he struck and killed one instantly. System obtained level 1 fire core. Unsuited for absorption. Sell value 50. His eyes lit up at the timely profit. He kept slaying non-stop. New skill making combat smooth as silk. Soon, had piled up heaps of cores. But before he could celebrate, the ground cracked violently. Lava burst forth, shaking the entire realm. He screamed as heat burned his legs. Fire pillars erupted so fiercely they could kill on contact. The collapsing ground made him tumble down. He cursed. Thankfully, he hadn't fallen into the lava pit. From afar, a massive boar appeared, gulping down spirits before turning to him. System alert, enraged fireboar. 1-star early stage, extremely dangerous. Win rate 40. He froze. Its strength matched an elementalist, and he had only 10 minutes to win. Furious, he yelled at the absurd mission. The system started the countdown, disabling refusal. As time began, the boar charged. He panicked. Running and dodging, he realized just surviving 10 minutes would be a miracle. Seeing it on his tail, he decided to keep dodging. He leaped aside. The beast slammed into a rock, shattering it. He gaped at its terrifying power, yet it didn't weaken. Its red eyes burned fiercer. He kept sprinting, dodging non-stop. Luckily, its slow reactions gave him narrow escapes. While running, he regretted dodging only meant no reward. Suddenly, a fire pillar erupted underfoot. He barely leaped clear. Gasping, he noted the flames could incinerate elementalists, but their cycle was patterned. Spotting that a daring idea struck, he clapped and laughed, taunting the roaring boar. He vaulted onto a cliff wall, waiting for the moment, studying terrain. He predicted the next eruption point. He jumped down, shouting provocations to lure the beast. It bellowed and charged exactly where he wanted. At that instant, the fire column blasted through its belly, hurling it skyward. Triumphant, he mocked as its body exploded, leaving a red core. System level 6 core detected, sell value 5 million. He shouted in joy at the massive profit. System challenge cleared, rewarding level 4 ice core. Perfect gene elixir. An Isagud seal fragment. He immediately swallowed the glowing ice core. System absorption complete ice ratio 100 full elementalist achieved pure elation followed. He held the shimmering gene vial, eyes curious. Remembering old lore, he knew gene potions came from beast cores to form warrior genes. Gene levels ran from beginner to perfection, but higher grade potions often caused death. The system assured the perfect elixir was totally safe. He cheered in relief. Comparing stats, he saw the same price as market potions but flawless effects. Excited, he thought both he and Susu could grow stronger safely. Searching deeper, he sighed at scarce goods system explained more stock unlocked with cultivation he understood. He recalled Susa scanned 2 ice elements at 0.5 and 1 strange element 0.9, extremely rare. Only 3 in the world, still dormant. An idea flashed, his eyes lighting up. He believed Susu surely had the potential to be an elementalist. Setting her aside for now, he focused on strengthening himself first. He didn't let her use the gene elixir yet, ordered the system to sell cores earning 5.75 million. Shocked by the quick profit, he bought 2 level 12 gene elixirs for 4.5 million. Without hesitation, he drank both bottles. System perfect enhancement combat power surged to 570. No side effects. He aimed for 700 after level 4 genes, equal to mid-stage elementalist. He took the final reward, an Icigod seal shard that shortened condensation time. Joyful, he swallowed the shard and activated divine grade Devour. Frost surge system S-God condensation reached 30. He gaped ice 30, wind 11, lightning 0. Total power 570. Amazed, he realized years of training were done in minutes thanks to the shard. System time expired 10-second countdown before leaving the fire hell. Back home, he sighed in relief for surviving intact. System launched the second gaudier challenge with even richer rewards. He was stunned. Thinking deeply, he knew this rare chance needed full prep to win all 3 rounds. Without delay, he rushed to a weapons shop. Entering, he demanded a high-grade combat set. The shopkeeper swiftly displayed a Titan sword, rocket launcher, armor-piercing rounds, and ultra bombs. Tanfeng was pleased and paid via phone. Storing everything in his space ring, he left the shop. Jumping across rooftops, he noted the weapons were weak for beasts but budget-friendly. With that prep, he brimmed with confidence, might excitement. He slipped and yelled, though his enhanced body stayed unharmed. Before standing, a purple-haired girl accidentally sat on his head. Both froze. Blushing, she screamed, calling him a pervert. Her shout summoned a furious female bodyguard. The guard accused Tanfeng of peeping at the lady and opened fire. He dodged frantically, protesting innocence, but bullets kept raining. Cornered, Tanfeng activated the Gotcha challenge transfer to the spirit realm. In a flash, he vanished, leaving the stunned guard cursing. The purple-haired girl scolded her servant for negligence, who swore had fallen from the sky. The young lady wept in shame over her ruined honor. The guard panicked. Recalling her ban from going out after drinking spirit water, she blamed her father. ZG sternly ordered secrecy. The guard obeyed at once. In the spirit realm, Tanfeng stepped from a light pillar, bewildered by yet another transport. Before him stood 2 undead horses wreathed in eerie blue flame. Scanning them, the system marked them as level 1/1-star undead steeds. He rejoiced. Level 6 cores worth 5 million, and no danger warning. Just as he prepared to strike, a thunderous shadow flashed and, in an instant, the undead horse's head was sliced clean off. System triggered a mission: slay the Skeleton King. In 10 minutes, he froze at its monstrous power. Data showed it was an elite level 7 beast wielding a Lodier bloodbone blade, extremely deadly. He drew his Titan sword, tense against a mid-star foe. The win rate was abysmal, odds totally against him. Still, he hungered for that blood blade worth hundreds of millions. Able to amplify elemental strength, the system started a 10-minute countdown before battle. Tanfeng took a deep breath, focused, then shouted a challenge, but the Skeleton King ignored him. Still slaughtering undead horses, he decided to use that distraction to set an ambush. Finding the perfect hiding spot, he smiled in satisfaction, pulling motion mines from his ring. He armed and scattered them. The mines burrowed underground, hidden neatly. Grinning, he waited for his prey. Tanfeng raised his launcher, aiming, but the monster was too fast. He fired an armor-piercing round, blasting violently. 2 more shots turned the area into a sea of fire. He waited tensely. When smoke cleared, the monster stood unharmed, staring coldly. He froze. His strongest strike didn't even scratch it. Truly a level 7 beast, rivaling a miniature powerhouse. Shocked yet confident, he rose, taunting the creature. Enraged, the Skeleton King charged. Tanfeng rejoiced the trap was set. 5 minutes till detonation, he lured it straight into the minefield. Hiding behind rocks, he triggered a chain explosion, smoke blanketing the area. He stepped out laughing as the blast deafened his ears. Before him, the Skeleton King was wounded, kneeling in the crater. He leapt down, sure the combined strikes would finish it. The beast weakly retaliated. He dismissed it. Dodging, he countered with rapid combo slashes. Moments later, its head rolled off. System 2 drops detected a level 7 core worth a fortune. The other, a Lodier bloodbone blade doubling elemental power worth 500 million. He was ecstatic. Smirking at the undead horses, he swung to test the blade. 1 strike killed a horse, proof of its might. He kept hunting, gathering more level 6 cores. Stroking the blade, he vowed to keep it as his main weapon. With time left, he hunted undead steeds relentlessly. Each level 6 core earned him a massive payout. He collected nonstop, his ring nearly full. Unable to hold back, he burst out laughing at the riches. Just then, the challenge timer expired. The system activated a light beam to extract him. Awakening, he saw ZG and her guards gone. He sighed in relief, vowing to avoid drama. System reward: wind, ice, and lightning seal shards plus a rare skill stone. He eagerly examined Rage Burst Strike, an absorbable treasure. Excited, he swallowed all shards in the stone. System 30 stats and a new skill. Each shard strengthened its element. The stone granted a burst attack skill. Checking stats: wind 41, Lightning 30. Ice 60 burst skill double combat instantly, please, but noting the absorption felt different. He promised to test later. He ordered the system to sell all beast cores. System confirmed earnings 25 million. He spent it on mid-tier level 34 gene elixirs for 13 million. Tan Feng downed both bottles in one go. System perfect enhancement 75 each. Total 700 combat. Mid and a star, he laughed proudly. He spent 8 million on level 23 genes for Sue so she could defend herself. System final Godseal challenge available with huge rewards. He declined. Not ready yet. Thinking it through, he realized difficulty doubled and the system ignored Jir, an exploitable flaw. Decision made. He returned home, worried Su was waiting. At the shelter, he found Captain Chen beside a luxurious armored vehicle. The man introduced the F-47 Titan. Powered by nuclear energy, everyone was awestruck. Chen Zhaojing excitedly asked Xiao Zhou to take photos with the car. Seeing Tan Feng, he greeted warmly as the group surrounded him with questions. Tan Feng asked who owned the car, but no one knew. Looking closely, unease crept over him. Chen noticed Tan Feng's aura and appearance had drastically changed. Being stared at made Tan Feng uncomfortable. Shouts rose, drawing everyone's attention to the gate. Two Gene warriors with Titan weapons marched in front. They stood firmly beside the car like guards. Then, a silver-haired man with glasses stepped out. Tan Feng frowned, his face looked familiar. The man coldly called the crowd trash and ordered them away. His pressure forced everyone back. Tan Feng felt the heavy aura yet stood tall. Secretly impressed, those outside the pressure zone whispered he was scarier than the Gene warriors. A trembling child pointed at the badge on the man's chest. Chen pulled the kid close, whispering it might be an elementalist, shocking Tan Feng. Chen was sure only that kind could overpower full elementalists. Only elementalists held noble titles, the rich were still low-rank citizens. The silver-haired man coldly left with the two Gene warriors. The crowd sighed, gossiping they had just seen a one-star elementalist. Tan Feng watched him go, a wave of familiarity stirring past memories. He remembered screaming before the Lin family gate, demanding to see Lin Haiyang for Susa's death. That silver-haired man had come out then, insulting him and ordering punishment. The henchman beat him brutally and threw him out. Now he realized that man was the Lin family steward. Why was he here? Fear for Susa's fate choked him. He dashed home, determined to stop the tragedy. Upon arrival, he panically called her name. Susu gasped, covering her mouth mid-snack, relief mixed with laughter in him. During dinner, he asked if anyone had visited. She confirmed, making him sure the Lin family had come, so he pressed for details. She said they came to retrieve a lost phone. Raising his suspicion, she explained Shed found it on the street. Later, its owner contacted her for pickup. They arrived and gave her 10,000 yuan as thanks. She refused but later regretted it was a big sum. He patted her head gently, saying money didn't matter, silently vowing to give her comfort. He guessed the phone belonged to Lin Haiyang, that the visitor was his agent, but why harm her after getting it back? Tan Feng asked if the phone had anything strange she tried to recall. Susu suddenly remembered a weird message before returning it. It invited a midnight meeting 3 days later at La Hoa Mountain for a deal. He deduced that monster-filled place was a trap Lin Haiyang planned to silence them. He asked who sent it. She guessed someone surnamed Zhou. Seemingly scared, he smiled, saying it was just casual curiosity. Then he proposed moving to a safer residential area. She worried about the high living costs. He reassured her not to worry about money and promised a gift. He handed her a new phone. She was delighted. Then he brought out 3 Gene elixirs. Curious, she asked. He told her to drink and find out. Trusting him completely, she downed all 3. He vowed that tonight she'd be strong enough to face any danger. Susu felt her body transforming rapidly. Excited, she showed her newfound energy. He handed her an iron bar to test. She bent it easily. He explained the elixirs made her a harmless Gene warrior. She stood stunned, realizing she had evolved into a Gene warrior. He said she reached level 3, stronger than most peers. He calculated that with level 4 genes, her power could hit 200, enough to beat anyone except an elemental master. Susu hugged him so hard he nearly suffocated, realizing her strength exceeded expectations. Meanwhile, in the Lin family mansion at Yunyang's center, Lin Jianhao furiously scolded Hu Yang for failing his very first mission. Hu Yang trembled, trying to explain himself. Baisu sneered, blaming him for losing the phone used to contact Chu Changtong. Lin Jianhao asked if anyone else saw the messages. Baisu said only that girl did. Hu Yang said he'd retrieved the phone and dismissed the girl as stupid. Lin Jianhao worried she might piece together their entire plan. Hu Yang smirked, saying no one would believe her anyway. His father slammed the table, shouting he was nothing compared to his brother Qin Yang. Filled with resentment, he hated being belittled for lacking talent. Baisu quickly soothed him, saying he had guts but not yet the skill. Lin Jianhao placed a hand on his shoulder, stressing the secrecy of their plan. He decided that even a small threat must be wiped out completely. Hu Yang froze, his eyes flashing with killing intent. He promised to clean things up and stormed out. Lin Jianhao ordered Baisu to tail him and erase any danger, even Qin Yang if necessary. Baisu grinned wickedly and accepted. Next morning, Tan Feng took Susu around the bustling market zone. People admired her wearing new armor. She asked how she looked. He praised her beauty and said the armor, made from one-star beast hide, could block a level 4 beast strike. She was amazed at its softness and strength, while he sighed internally over the cost. She asked why he bought armor though he didn't patrol. He said it was to protect her. She teased that he once bragged about being stronger than an elemental master and struck a proud pose. He laughed at her silliness, realizing she couldn't fight at all, which worried him. She just stuck out her tongue and changed the topic. Instead of arguing, he calculated that with her new armor she could resist level 4 beasts, while his own wind and lightning powers improved after last night's cultivation, but ice still lagged, meaning he'd need to risk the tier 3 battle trial. He also thought of buying more elemental weapons for safety, but the price made his broke head ache. Lost in thought, he noticed a commotion at a nearby Genie drug shop. A young man shouted furiously because they refused to sell even at a huge markup. The owner panicked, raising the price to 15 million to appease him, shocking the crowd. Despite the increase, the owner shakily explained that the city lord had forbidden selling to that young master. Hearing city lord, the man protested louder. While the owner bowed, Tan Feng asked Susu who he was. Susu said in surprise it was Wang Xiao, grandson of the former city lord born talentless, trying to use gene drugs, which was banned as dangerous, since the current city lord was the old one's student. That ban was absolute just then. A bold idea sparked in Tan Feng's mind. He realized Wang Xiao was a goldman in his broke state and planned to profit. Still watching, he heard the owner mention surveillance by the old city lord's aide, which made Wang Xiao angrier. As tension peaked, Tan Feng stepped forward with a sly smile, subtly hinting about genie drug trading. An old man in white instantly blocked Wang Xiao, eyes sharp as blades, warning him not to defy the city lord's decree. Without waiting, the old man burst out with one-star wind element master power. But Tan Feng stayed calm. He secretly assessed, certain his own strength surpassed the threatening foe. Wang Xiao argued for his right to decide, but Liu Bei sternly forbade it, saying his body couldn't handle the gene drug. He emphasized normal level 1 genes had an 80 success rate, but Wang Xiao's chance was only half. Liu Bei warned Tan Feng that profiting off others' weakness was shameful, advising him to back off, but Tan Feng grinned confidently, claiming his custom-made gene drug was perfectly safe with 100 effect. His bold words stunned both Wang Xiao and Liu Bei, who thought he was insane. The crowd buzzed. No one had ever heard of a flawless gene drug. Seizing the moment, Tan Feng hyped it as doubling battle power, making Wang Xiao's greed shine. He faked emotion, spinning a tale of a great mentor who made the serum, and Wang Xiao eagerly ignored Liu Bei to ask the price. Tan Feng smiled, raised 2 fingers. Wang Xiao thought 2 million, but he calmly said 20 million. Wang Xiao screamed in disbelief at the number. Liu Bei shouted furiously, calling Tan Feng a scammer. As the crowd murmured, they said that much money could buy all grades of genes. Clearly suspicious. Susu couldn't stand it, stepping up proudly to defend him. She pointed out Wang Xiao was willing to pay 15 million for junk, so her brother's rare potion was fairly priced. Liu Bei still doubted, claiming no miracle drug could exist, but Tan Feng calmly affirmed it was divine medicine. Completely bewitched, Wang Xiao agreed to buy but demanded proof. Tan Feng suggested testing the body's rejection level first. It revealed the truth. Everyone looked to the shop owner, who confirmed he had the device and invited them to test. The results shocked all. Absolute zero rejection. Liu Bei refused to believe, shouting it was impossible. He demanded a retest, suspecting a faulty or rigged machine. The trembling owner said they tried 10 times all the same. Tan Feng lazily asked, "Do you believe now?" Liu Bei. Wang Xiao sat down weakly, complaining he'd lost too much blood. Liu Bei watched Tan Feng fending casually with Susu, suspicion stirring. Was it truly a treasure? Tan Feng munched chocolate, grinning that no matter the test, his divine serum never failed. Even after dozens more tests, the rejection stayed perfectly at 0. Exhausted, Wang Xiao asked Liu Bei if he could finally take the drug. Liu Bei hesitated, saying safety didn't guarantee results. Wang Xiao brushed him off, declaring 20 million was worth a shot at transformation. Without delay, he transferred the money despite Liu Bei's frantic shouts. Once paid, Tan Feng tossed the vial over, which Wang Xiao clutched like treasure. He drank it instantly before everyone, too fast for Liu Bei to stop him. Instantly, strange energy surged through Wang Xiao's body. Liu Bei watched anxiously, asking how he felt. Wang Xiao said nothing, just walked to the power meter and threw a fierce punch. The screen flashed 30 combat points. Everyone was stunned silent. The crowd erupted. Normal level 1 genes gave only 15 points. His effect truly doubled. Wang Xiao wept, shouting in joy at feeling real strength for the first time. Wang Xiao hugged Liu Bei in tears, and Liu Bei choked up, admitting a miracle had happened. Tan Feng lounged casually, teasing them while Wang Xiao nodded eagerly and Liu Bei bowed apologetically. Wang Xiao gave a thumbs up, shouting that Tan Feng was his brother and a medicine god. The gene shop owner rushed over, nearly kneeling to buy the potion at any price as the crowd chanted medicine god. Tan Feng calmly toyed with a few vials, saying supply was limited and denying being any kind of god. Despite his refusal, the crowd still knelt and shouted his title in frenzy. His phone buzzed nonstop as his balance soared past 200 million. Susu joyfully held his hand as they left under admiring gazes. On the way, Tan Feng mused that selling genes downtown could make a fortune, but safety came first. The money was just enough for a loadier elemental weapon. He led Susu to Yuanqi Pavilion, a famous shop for elemental weapons nearby. The luxurious, bustling atmosphere left Susu dazzled and curious. Inside, elemental masters crowded the place, chatting noisily. A sweet-voiced, beautiful girl approached and asked if they needed help. Susu gripped his hand warily, while Tan Feng smiled politely and asked why it was so crowded. The girl explained it was elemental weapon gamble box day. She pointed to rows of metal boxes, saying each cost 130 million and contained a random loadier weapon worth 100,600 million, undetectable even by masters. Tan Feng nodded, grasping the system, earning her praise for being clever while Susu clung tighter with clear, possessive eyes. Suddenly, a chubby youth stepped up, placing a hand on a box, saying he'd try his luck. Drawing a crowd, the overseeing Viscount coolly stated the price 130 million. Prepaid, non-refundable. Once opened, the fat man glanced at him, realizing he was a noble and a 2-star elemental master. He calculated that 130 million was his entire fortune, but hitting a rare weapon could change his life. Without hesitation, he transferred the money, eyes shining, and asked the Viscount to open it. The Viscount confirmed payment, and the lid clicked open softly. Inside lay a fireblade elemental weapon with 50 attack power. The crowd muttered disappointment, calling it trash worth only 100 million, a huge loss. The fat man went pale, eyes blank, making Tan Feng shiver at the risk as another gambler stepped up. This time, the opener struck gold with a Guardian Shield of 70.6 defense, worth about 300 million, reversing the luck. Tan Feng pondered his money could only buy mid-grade, but a lucky pull could boost his odds in trials. As he hesitated, the system suddenly revealed detailed data on a nearby box. Every box he looked at now displayed name, rank, element, and effects. He rejoiced quietly his system could see inside the jackpot chance had arrived. Su, seeing an Aya box, worriedly warned he could lose tens of millions if unlucky. Tan Feng smiled, patted her head, assuring her he had a plan. With limited funds, he only aimed for the most valuable box in sight. Many showed weak stats, some worth 300 million, but none yet met his target. Around them, people groaned about bad luck and heavy losses from poor draws. Su grew even more anxious, begging him to stop, but he was confident he'd pick right. He grabbed one metal box, pulling his reluctant sister along. When he placed the bet, the crowd buzzed in surprise. Some guessed he was a rich young noble showing off. The Viscount in charge found it odd but still asked for upfront payment. Tan Feng paid immediately and let the Viscount open the box. The crowd gasped it was a wind-type elemental weapon. Since wind types were rare, even low-tier ones exceeded 100 million. Exciting everyone, pretending clueless. Tan Feng asked the crowd to read the info for him. They read aloud: Wind Shadow Boots, Wind Type Assist Gear, 100 Speed. Everyone gaped at the max stat, valuing it around 50600 million. While Su cheered for her brother, the Viscount congratulated him for hitting a rare item. Tan Feng replied modestly, though thrilled inside. Jealous gamblers rushed to bet again, worrying him since 100 million box he wanted was still there. He told Su they were leaving, making her ask where to. He replied the Warrior Hall, piquing her curiosity. He explained it was where Gene warriors and elites gathered to form beast-stunning teams. It also had special training and testing zones. On the second floor, he showed her the vast test hall. Then he handed her a mid-tier level 4 gene vial. After she drank it, power exploded violently within. Tan Feng nodded, softly telling her to test her combat strength. The meter displayed 199 points. Su joyfully hugged him while he sighed in relief. She could now defend herself. Excited, he said tomorrow would shock many, but told her to keep her power secret. She blinked in confusion but nodded obediently. He told her to train in the third-floor virtual battle room while he cultivated elsewhere. She happily agreed. They split up, and Tan Feng examined the training room, perfect for his next mission. He took out his expensive gear, recalling his perilous past and silently thanking his luck. With this equipment, he no longer needed to risk venturing into dark alleys to level up. Planning to test his innate power, he prepared the level 1 beast core had bought. Fully equipped, he became a Trilimit master. Tough defense, sharp offense, hard for monsters to counter. He swallowed the beast core, feeling energy surge through his body. As expected, his divine Devour skill absorbed the core's energy, instantly restoring and boosting his strength. Ready for the next trial, the system launched the Frozen Prison 198 map and began countdown. He was instantly teleported into a brutal icy land. Shivering as cold pierced his bones, despite the freezing pain, he pressed on, sensing this challenge far outmatched the previous ones. He believed his current strength now rivaled top-tier elemental masters. A deadly intuition warned him of an incoming ambush. He spun to counter, but the enemy vanished without trace. Only strange footprints on the ice caught his wary eyes. He felt something stalking him, unsettling his mind. A dark shadow struck from a blind spot, hurling him back violently. Luckily, his armor absorbed the blow, saving him by inches. The system identified the foe as a level 10 ice phantom demon with stealth powers. The mission demanded elimination within 20 minutes, tensing him to the core. He cursed inwardly. The difficulty was far beyond expectations. The system promised a grand reward and a chance to learn the rare ice concealment skill. He was shocked it was an ability only 3-star masters could wield. Regaining focus, he trusted his gear to balance the odds. After a brief countdown, the deadly battle officially began. The ice phantom let out a chilling, cracking laugh. It vanished completely, leaving him in perilous blindness. A wave of murderous intent suddenly struck from behind. The phantom lunged with icy claws, and he waited for the perfect moment to react. He flipped aside, dodging at the razor edge of danger. Using his spin's momentum, he unleashed a fierce counter with his blood-bone blade. The ice phantom crossed its arms to block. The strike only left shallow scratches. It roared and charged again. He slashed once more but missed entirely. Furious, he realized the enemy had vanished again. He schemed, laying mines and waiting for a chance. A distant explosion gave away the enemy's position. He hurled a flash bomb toward the sound. The burst of light temporarily blinded the ice phantom. He dashed in for a killing blow, but it regained sight too fast. It countered recklessly, driving claws into his chest. Both took heavy damage from the clash. They staggered apart, blood staining the white ice. He grinned savagely, his battle spirit surging. He pulled out another beast core and swallowed it whole. The Devour skill activated, healing his wounds. Power flared. He refused to retreat. He swung his blade with ferocious might. The ice phantom faltered, forced backward again and again. It stepped on a mine, setting off a chain of explosions. He charged through fire and smoke, trading pain for damage. The phantom was exhausted, barely able to resist. He gathered all his strength for one final strike. The blade cleaved down, splitting the ice phantom in two, ending the fight. As the monster dissolved, 2 glowing items appeared amid the frost. Tan Feng quickly grabbed them a level 10 beast core and a rare skill stone. Overjoyed, he absorbed the stone, and the system confirmed he learned ice concealment. Thrilled, he realized the skill was perfect for stealth and ambush. The system announced completion of the third God Ear challenge. Granting divine shards and a fire element core, he was puzzled that all rewards were fire type, unfitting his current build. Checking his last treasure, the Honjuan Pearl, he had a risky idea. Driven by curiosity, he swallowed the precious orb. The system reported increased fire sensitivity, unlocking basic fire affinity. Excited, he believed the new element would greatly boost his growth. Without delay, he absorbed all rewards, strengthening every aspect. His status showed 4 elements coexisting. Combat power reached 900. Compared to the 2-star standard, had surpassed beginner level. Curious, he wondered what ranks lay beyond the king tier. The system displayed the hierarchy star, emperor, and god tiers with motivational text. Tan Feng burned with determination, resolved to unlock the next challenge once he hit 2-star. Returning to reality, he asked the system to trade his beast cores for 80 million credits. Checking his account, he grinned. His fortune neared 140 million. Seeing his armor damaged, he decided to visit Yuanqi Pavilion for a new set before stocks ran out. Entering, he heard talk about someone winning a rare wind-type item but paid it no mind. A beautiful reed-haired girl noticed him, silently impressed by his aura. He relaxed upon seeing the armor set he wanted still intact. Just as he was about to buy it, a teasing female voice asked if it was his first time gambling for elemental weapons. She advised him not to pick the big boxes since size didn't equal value. He turned to look at the reed-haired girl, eyes lingering on her alluring figure. He inwardly mocked that her words basically insulted herself. She confidently reaffirmed, and the system revealed she was a high-level water element master. Stepping closer, she tapped the box lightly, explaining large boxes usually held weapons or armor. He secretly rejoiced that was exactly what he needed. She leaned in, saying rare items never hid in big boxes, and urged him to trust her, knowing from the system that it contained armor. He teased her about her unlucky streak. Blushing, she admitted she had once lost everything gambling and neglected cultivation. He laughed that luck ruled all, then calmly went to the counter despite her warnings had regret it. At the counter, he handed the box to Viscount Zheng Ba for transaction. The reed-haired girl was stunned to see Zheng Bei knew him. Zheng Bei confirmed he was the one who'd won the Wind Shadow boots earlier that day. She was shocked, asking why I'd still gamble, and he coolly said he wanted to test his luck again. She warned that winning twice in a row was nearly impossible, but he stayed firm. He transferred 130 million Zheng Ba confirmed. Drawing a crowd, under curious eyes, Zheng Bei began to open the box. When the armor appeared, cheers erupted through the hall. The girl read aloud its defense stat, full 100 range. Everyone marveled at its immense value. While he rejoiced at the huge combat boost, even Zheng Bei, who'd seen countless miracles, was amazed and praised his rare luck. Lunian joked lightly. He modestly smiled, calling it luck, then prepared to leave. He planned to find Su Su and take her home to rest for tomorrow's patrol. As he walked away, Lunian suddenly called out, making him wary. She smiled, saying she just wanted a small favor. Unexpectedly, she hooked his arm, asking him to pick a box for good luck. He bluntly asked what was in it for him. She laughed, praising his practicality. She promised a favor in return, revealing her identity and influence in Yunyang City. Her vague offer did impress him, so she quickly changed tactics. Leaning close, she whispered a suggestive promise of a date tonight. Embarrassed, he mused at how bold women here were. She teased further, asking if he was tempted. She changed hairstyle and demeanor to a cold, elegant look, asking his opinion. He secretly admired her adaptability but stayed silent. Picking her curiosity, she kept changing styles, joking he must like the innocent schoolgirl type. He just nodded to end it. He pointed at box No. 7, telling her to hurry. She gratefully ran off to buy it while he warned not to blame him if she lost. She replied she wouldn't and promised if she won, she'd thank him with a playful blown kiss before leaving. Cheers erupted when she hit a water-type elemental weapon with 86 range, worth hundreds of millions, stunning the crowd. Zheng Bei stood frozen, feeling today's fate was completely overturned. Lunian hugged her prize joyfully, thanking him and promising repayment. Meanwhile, had already left, heading straight for the warrior hall. He felt relieved, just wanting to pick up Su Su and avoid romantic entanglements. The roaring cheers drew his attention. On the screen, Su Su was dominating her match. He was amazed that despite little real combat experience, she displayed outstanding talent. He knew the virtual arena simulated players' actual physical data. The place emphasized control and reflexes over brute force. All stats were balanced, making it the perfect training ground for combat skills. The crowd buzzed as she fought evenly with Dao Shen, a top 10 city expert, making him proud. Though inexperienced, her debut far exceeded expectations, inspiring him to guide her more. On screen, Dao Shen suddenly shifted into a fierce counterattack, but he exposed an opening, failing to finish Su Su. She seized the chance and delivered a decisive strike. Su Su's victory erupted through the arena with thunderous cheers. The audience chanted that she was now their idol. Su Su stepped out amid applause as Dao Shen bowed to her talent. Many scrambled to invite her into their teams, creating chaos. One man stormed in, demanding she join only his side, but Su Su firmly refused, making Tan Feng sense the danger of these groups. Tan Feng stepped forward, calling his sister to leave the noisy place. They departed as Su Su excitedly recounted the match and asked for a virtual pod. He agreed but postponed, while the crowd still admired them. At the Lin estate, Lin Huyang vented his anger on a punching bag. Xiao Lu gently brought him a towel, urging him to rest. He removed his gloves and asked about the plan's progress. Xiao Lu replied everything was ready. Su Su was under strict surveillance. He nodded, asking about the car and mini missiles. She reported them ready. He ordered a bath prepared, and Xiao Lu quickly obeyed. After After bathing, he drank wine, plotting how to eliminate Susu tomorrow, certain no one would trace it to the Lin clan. Next day, Tan Feng took Susu to Population Division No. 7 for registration. She was surprised that everyone inside wore armor and carried weapons. She asked why some wore armor but no weapons. He explained it was a feint tactic to fool enemies. Tan Feng noticed his wind seal had reached 93, just a step from breaking into 1-star. He predicted Lin Huyang would soon move and resolved to strike first. To him, only erasing the Lin family would give Susu lasting peace. Captain Chen Ming announced Team Division's 5 squads led by Jin warriors bound for Zones 22. Seeing the selection, Susu grew nervous. A short, scared man invited Tan Feng to his team. Learning he wanted to bring his sister, the man refused, saying women were liabilities. Susu angrily protested, but he advised her to stay quiet to avoid attention. A burly man then invited her to join his own squad. Surprising her, she asked if her brother could come too. He agreed and told her not to call him uncle. He introduced himself as a Feng, a level 4 Jin warrior, and asked their names in return. Susu introduced herself. Tan Feng replied briefly. Watching the man cautiously, he sensed something odd, that a Feng chose his sister over stronger fighters. After teams formed, the convoy sped towards 22, while Chen Ming announced 10 kilometers left. Feeling the tension, Hafeng cracked jokes to lift spirits. Tan Feng probed for details, worried for Susu, but Hafeng assured him all was fine. Hafeng said he wanted to protect Suosu because she reminded him of a sister lost in the old Beast Lord tragedy. Mentioned the past darkened his face. His smile tinged with sorrow. Susu sympathized. Tan Feng apologized, but Hafeng waved it off, saying it was long behind him. Hafeng handed them 2 pistols for defense, which delighted Susu. Tan Feng accepted, noticing they were top-grade models, deepening his suspicion of Hafeng's true intent. Hafeng calls everyone to gather and prepare. He announces they've reached defense zones 22. The grand fortifications wow the group as they step off the trucks. Tan Feng warns his sister to be careful. She just asks about the picnic while he listens for army and elementalist news. He asks about mission details, and Hafeng answers calmly. The team's job is civilian support and labor if danger comes. Retreat, no fighting. Suddenly someone shouts to look behind Hafeng. 2 elemental masters, 1 male and 1 female. Approach. Hafeng salutes and reports to Commander Liu. The men whisper about the female officer's fierce aura. Some praise her looks, while Tan Feng watches quietly. Feeling Dediju, he realizes she's Liu Nian from Yuomu Pavilion. Susu gushes about her beauty. He replies vaguely, worried she'll blow his plan to kill Lin Huyang. Liu Nian introduces herself as commander of the 9th Legion. Announcing joint patrol, she sternly demands absolute obedience even to wrong orders. She warns disobedience means instant execution. Chilling everyone, Tan Feng lowers his cap, confirming she's a true level 1 elementalist. Liu Nian assigns Deputy Wan to take over. He starts handing out tools. They are ordered to inspect and repair fortifications and regroup in 10 minutes. An hour later, Hafeng's team marches west toward Yunyang City. The officer reminds them to stay alert. They're entering a danger zone. The mission goal: rebuild the destroyed watchtower. That tower serves as early warning for beast hordes. The officer puts Hafeng in charge of civilians and moves on, telling him to report emergencies. Hafeng accepts and urges the team to finish fast and leave. A young man jokes the place was just cleared, nothing scary left. Hafeng snaps, saying he's too green to know real danger. He warns that humans in the wild are crueler than beasts, only the strong survive. The group panics and immediately works seriously. Susu trembles, asking if the outside world is truly that terrifying. Hafeng smiles, pats her head, promising protection. She's touched and thankful. Tan Feng watches silently, thoughts swirling darkly. In the outskirts, Lin Huyang receives Susu's tracker signal from a spy. He flicks his cigarette away. Grinning viciously, the hunt begins. Tan Feng's team rushes to rebuild the steel tower before deadline. Hafeng commands while scanning the forest with binoculars. Tan Feng asks his sister if she's tired. She chirps she's fine and adapting well. Suddenly, a massive explosion erupts deep in the forest, shocking all. Panic spreads. Tan Feng suspects gunfire, and Hafeng calls full alert. Looking through the scope, Hafeng pales danger is coming. A horde of iron boars charges out, shaking the ground. Some try to flee, but Hafeng yells to stop. No shelter left. Susu trembles and hides in Tan Feng's arms. He holds her tight. Tan Feng asks what to do. Someone suggests splitting up to survive. Hafeng decides to stay and block the path, draws his blade, and orders retreat. As the group scatters, the siblings stay to help. Stunning Hafeng, he yells they can't handle a tier 3 beast, but the horde is already upon them. Tan Feng shouts for Susu to open fire immediately. Both unleash a barrage at the metallic creatures. Bullets bounce off their iron armor harmlessly. Hafeng orders retreat, then rushes in to block attacks and save them. He swings his blade fiercely, knocking the alpha boar aside. Susu gasps in awe, and Tan Feng silently respects his strength. Even after slaying the leader, the rest of the herd charges on. Panicked, Susu asks what to do. Hafeng warns the walls collapsing they must run. He leads them toward a new shelter. The 3 hide in a ruined house nearby. The beasts seem to stop chasing. Gasping, Susu asks if they're safe. Hafeng says yes, but keeps watch. He tells them to rest 20 minutes to recover. Their shelter is 30 kilometers from safety, just enough to reach it before dark. Everything going too smoothly makes Tan Feng suspect someone controls the beasts. Suddenly, a loud crash cuts his thoughts short. An armored vehicle rolls and Lin Huyang steps out. He smirks wickedly, declaring his track Tan Feng's team down. Tan Feng shivers, confirming his worst suspicion. Susu, thinking as a rescuer, happily runs to greet him. Tan Feng yanks her back, warning her to stay away. Lin Huyang mocks them as trash, vowing to kill Susu without question. He screams madly and opens fire at her. Tan Feng reacts instantly, rolling with his sister behind a rock. Feng provides cover while Lin Huyang laughs maniacally, firing non-stop. He shouts hell prove Hez as ruthless as his older brother. Tan Feng whispers something to his sister that makes her freeze. He turns to ask Feng to protect Susu, leaving the man stunned. Tan Feng declares hell fight, entrusting her to Feng before charging forward. Seeing the attack, Lin Huyang laughs insanely and sprays bullets. Tan Feng dodges like lightning, closing in on the vehicle in a blink. Huyang gapes at his power, his soldiers trembling in fear. Finding the machine gun useless, he climbs up to activate heavy weapons. Missile pods rise from the roof, and Tan Feng braces himself. Xiaolu panics about the range, but Huyang crazily orders to fire anyway. Tan Feng stays calm, gathering wind energy into his hands. With a shout, a fierce gust explodes from his palms. The raging wind sweeps the missiles midair, detonating them as he stands firm. Eyes like steel, Lin Huyang and Xiaolu Sterk has reached wind elemental mastery. Feng gapes at his true power, while Susu is stunned by her terrifying brother. On a tall tree, Baitu watches silently through binoculars. Seeing the tide turn, he panics and rushes to aid Lin Huyang. Lin Huyang frantically orders retreat, but Tan Feng sneers no escape. He gathers his kai into a swirling vortex of wind energy. Its force drags the armored car and debris toward Xiaolu loses control. The energy sphere slams under the vehicle, detonating it in a massive explosion that hurls it skyward. Tan Feng draws the bloodbone blade and unleashes a thunderous slash. Xiaolu screams as the vehicle spins out, and Lin Huyang yells to jump. He leaps from the cockpit. Just as the blade strikes, the car explodes, trapping Xiaolu inside. Though alive, has hurled dozens of meters by the blast. Racked with pain and rage, he howls as his entire scheme crumbles. Tan Feng's footsteps echo closer, making him beg for mercy. Tan Feng coldly asks if he would have spared Susu in his place. Huyang panics, stammering how does he know his identity. Tan Feng says has his enemy from a past life, leaving him dazed. In despair, Huyang screams for his hidden ally's help. Feng suddenly grabs Susu, forcing Tan Feng to stop or she dies. Tan Feng calmly exposes him as Lin Huyang's mole. Stunning Feng, Susu struggles free, twisting his arm to break loose. She kicks hard, slamming him into a wall. Seeing this, Lin Huyang panics, suspecting both siblings are extraordinary. Tan Feng says he knew his sister could protect herself, that's why he trusted her. Susu aims her gun, demanding answers from Feng. Heartbroken by betrayal, she is torn between disbelief and the pain of realizing her brother was right. Feng bitterly admits guilt and accepts punishment. She still hesitates, shouting to know why he betrayed them. Bowing, he confesses he needed money to save his dying daughter. Hearing that, Susu softens and lowers her gun, unaware of danger. Seizing the chance, Feng lunges with his sword, but from afar, a flying blade streaks in. It pierces Feng, pinning him to the wall and killing him instantly. Tan Feng turns and asks why his sister hesitated to shoot. Trembling, Susu calls his name. Choking up, Tan Feng sternly warns that mercy in this world only brings ruin. He coldly reminds Lin Huyang of karma debts must be paid. Tan Feng mocks him for seeking death and vows to oblige. His icy interrogation makes Lin Huyang stumble back in terror. Tan Feng declares hell end him today. Lin Huyang bursts into tears, begging for his life. A distant shout orders Tan Feng to stop, spare the second young master. Tan Feng turns to see Baitu rushing in like the wind. Baitu casts a spell, sending vines lashing toward Tan Feng. Tan Feng reacts instantly, dodging the strike. Baitu launches another deadly attack midair. The vines morph into a monster that swallows half of Tan Feng's body, binding him tight. Lin Huyang cheers, thinking salvation has come. He boasts Baitu, a mid-tier elementalist, will secure victory. Tan Feng answers calmly, eyes cold and distant. He slashes through the vines, shredding them effortlessly. Both men freeze, shocked their technique was broken so easily. Baitu retaliates with a volley of high-speed elemental arrows. Tan Feng mocks the sluggish speed unworthy of the title Swift Fang. He activates Wind Shadow form, moving at blinding speed while taunting. He darts like lightning, the arrows exploding uselessly against afterimages. Unharmed, Tan Feng advances, leaving Baitu unable to track him. A flash of light streaks by in an instant. Beta's head is severed before he even realizes it. He dies instantly, aware only that he's dead. Lin Huyang screams madly beside his ally's corpse. His stunned only a 2-star expert could kill Baitu that fast. The truth terrifies him. He suspects Tan Feng has reached 2-star level. Even his genius older brother wasn't that strong at 17. Panicking, he kneels and begs for mercy, but it's denied. He then threatens, invoking the name of the Lin clan. He warns the Lin clan will avenge him if he dies. Tan Feng coldly replies, hell wipe out the Lin clan if needed. He swings his blade, ending Lin Huyang's life. Tan Feng exhales, confirming his sister's safety. He gathers evidence and bodies, expecting the Lin clan's retaliation. He knows every trace must be erased to avoid suspicion. Susu hands him the sword that killed Feng, asking him to keep it. Tan Feng smiles faintly, stores it in his ring, gently checking on her. She only shakes her head sadly. Susu still doesn't understand why Lin Huyang wanted her dead. Tan Feng reminds her of the phone she found. The secret message was the reason. She recalls the message from 2 days ago. It foretold tonight's events. Susu hesitates, mentioning Chu Tong, blaming herself, but he assures her the truth will surface soon. She worries their old base isn't safe after killing the second young master. Tan Feng reassures they'll head to Defense Zones 22 where allies await. She brightens, while he remembers Liu Nian, to whom he owes a favor. Hours later, the siblings reach Zones 22. They're interrogated. Xiao Yan confirms their escape story. Tan Feng agrees with the entire statement. He asks about survivors, only 6 returned. The rest missing. He pretends to mourn and wishes peace, impressing Su Su with his acting. Cross-checking the data, Xiao Yan finds it consistent, and Deputy Wang rules it a normal attack. He allows them to rest, but Tan Feng unexpectedly requests to see Liu Nian. Deputy Wang refuses, saying reports through him are enough. Yet Tan Feng insists. The officer sternly warns that overstepping ranks breaks military law. Tan Feng lacks the authority. Tan Feng asks what's required to meet her and hears he needs lieutenant rank or a human rights card. He pulls out a black card, saying it's his human rights permit. Both are shocked. It's a rare level 4 card for civilians. Deputy Wang praises his talent. Xiao Yan guesses has it full steel body stage. Then they allow the meeting. Deputy Wang escorts the siblings to Liu Nian's door. Announcing a level 4 guest, Su Su quietly confirms his identity. A voice inside grants entry, and they step in. Liu Nian looks up, asking who requested the meeting. Deputy Wang introduces Tan Feng and Su Su. Liu Nian is surprised, happily calling him Little Handsome One. Tan Feng greets her, leaving Deputy Wang amazed at their familiarity. She scolds him for leaving without a word and orders tea. Liu Nian warmly invites them to sit and chat freely. The siblings sit. Su Su silently admires her dazzling beauty. Deputy Wang serves tea. Liu Nian recalls last time he helped her reach 86 yuan energy resonance. Tan Feng modestly calls it luck. Liu Nian cheerfully says they must meet again. Stunning Su Su, Tan Feng shifts the topic, asking for her help with something important. She agrees to listen, and he immediately asks to stay the night. Liu Nian nearly spits her tea in shock. Deputy Wang is stunned. Su Su flustered. Only Tan Feng stays calm. Blushing, Liu Nian asks if he really wants to stay. Baffling the deputy, she pretends to scold him for leaving. Silently, he smiles, saying it was urgent. Liu Nian quickly softens her tone and grants his request. Deputy Wang gapes at how easily the commander agreed. Tan Feng says his sister will stay too, making Liu Nian hesitate. He asks about rooms. She says there are enough but hints at extra interaction, making him suspicious. The room falls silent. The air turns awkward. Tan Feng realizes his words sounded suggestive. He hastily clarifies he just needs a room for cultivation. Liu Nian teasingly dares him to really break through. She presses a finger to his lips, softly saying she understands but clearly doubts it, thinking his excuse clumsy. She secretly arranges a private space, her gaze full of implication, leaving him flustered. Liu Nian hands her card to Deputy Wang, ordering him to escort the siblings to rest. The deputy obeys and leads them out. Afterward, Liu Nian calls Ziyan to see her. Xiao Yan is told to buy school uniforms, confused but compliant. Li Nian asks for size. Xiao Yan blushes, saying she knows but worries about fit. She instructs her to choose tight-fitting ones to show the figure. Xiao Yan obeys. Blushing, Liu Nian adds maid outfits to the list. Xiao Yan nearly faints, asking why. Irritated, Liu Nian snaps for her to hurry, forcing Xiao Yan to rush off. Alone, she ponders Tan Feng's tastes, assuming his into maids. At that moment, Tan Feng sneezes, sensing incoming trouble. Deputy Wang leads the siblings to Liu Nian's quarters, explaining this is the commander's living area. Su Su marvels at the luxury. Tan Feng also praises it. As the deputy leaves, Tan Feng asks about the promised task. The man stammers that the commander arranged something special, surprising him. With a straight face, the deputy says their mission is resting to aid defense. The half-joke makes both siblings laugh, easing the tension. After he leaves, Tan Feng reassures her the place is safe. The Lin clan won't act rashly. Su Su teases that her brother's connections are impressive. She worries hiding forever won't work. He vows to grow stronger and get her a human rights pass. Delighted, she agrees it's the best news she's heard. Su Su agrees they must grow strong enough to destroy the Lin clan for good. Tan Feng reminds her to train hard so she won't be a burden. She eagerly promises and calls him over to see something cool. She's found too advanced for pods and praises Li Nian's wealth and genius. Tan Feng tells her to play. If she likes hell, buy her one. Later, she gleefully trains inside. Seeing her so driven gives Tan Feng new motivation to train. He opens the cultivation chamber, thinking the Lin clan might soon trace them. He resolves to break through to elementalist level before that happens. In her office, Liu Nian reviews his file. Annoyed by the lack of info and poor intel work, she suddenly speculates Tan Feng reached full steel body and youth, a prodigy among prodigies. Comparing him to Yunyang's city lord, she deems him one of the South Alliance's rare talents and totally her type. The thought makes her heart flutter slightly. Her phone rings, a call from the city lord. She frowns, saying the timing is perfect, and asks to connect the call. The image of Yunyang's city lord appears, cheerfully greeting her after so long. He probes for updates, and she instantly guesses her father sent him. The city lord explains her father just wants to know when she'll return home. She scolds him for not refusing better. He jokes, and she tells him to say she's in secluded training. The city lord laughs, warning that if she delays, her father will send people to drag her back. Annoyed, she replies half-heartedly that she'll return soon. After hanging up, she guesses her father plans another matchmaking event. Reason she fled to be a commander. She rubs her temples, sighing that her allowance might get cut again. She complains that a commander's salary can't even feed her pets or luxury habits. Xiao Yan returns. She tries on the clothes, scolds her for being slow, then softens and thanks her. After Xiao Yan leaves, she muses that bringing Tan Feng home as a son-in-law would please her dad and stop arranged marriages. She resolves to act tonight to keep that little prodigy by her side. Meanwhile, at Zones 22, Su Su shocks everyone by reaching combat level 13 in Veer battle. She fights 3 opponents, Ji Mo, Si Mei, and Scarface, astonishing all. People marvel that she improved so much in just half an hour. On screen, she faces all three at once, still dominating despite a huge boulder blocking her path. She kicks the rock apart, counter-attacking with lightning speed. Seimei is defeated instantly. The crowd erupts, while Deputy Commander Wang Jian watches every move. He smiles, recognizing her as talent worth recruiting. The match ends. Susu triumphs over all three, even the famed Scarface. The audience gasps, admitting her skills far exceed normal soldiers. Wang Jian excitedly orders her brought in for personal evaluation. Subordinates reply no one's met her file is sealed and age doesn't meet enlistment standards. Wang Jian immediately orders a trace on the verb pod to find her identity. Standing on the arena floor, Susu declares the match isn't over, stunning the crowd with her stamina. Marcel steps out, red-faced from his earlier loss. Susu mocks him as a loser unworthy of fighting her. Marcel blames a fluke and demands a rematch to redeem his pride. Susu cheerfully accepts, letting him choose the format. He selects a real combat deathmatch like true soldiers. The crowd murmurs it favors brute strength, a disadvantage for the young girl. He tries to intimidate her, but Susu calmly says that'll only make his loss worse. Marcel shouts to start, saying words mean nothing without proof. Susu immediately agrees, shocking the crowd. While Wang Jian smirks at Marcel's foolishness, the arena shifts to live combat mode, full power allowed. Marcel snarls, telling her to strike first. Susu smiles and steps forward without hesitation. She delivers a lightning-fast strike, pouring all her strength into the opening blow. In a flash, Marcel is utterly defeated, collapsing motionless. The stands erupt, amazed that the girl's power exceeds a level 4 soldier's. Her flawless blend of skill and force leaves everyone curious about her true identity. While Wang Jin cheers in delight, he instantly plans to recruit her as his key to promotion. With her potential and his resources, Wang Jin feels certain a commander's post is within reach. At that moment, Chen Yai reports the verpod belongs to Liu Nian personally. Hearing that, Wang Jin turns pale and freezes on the spot. Meanwhile, Liu Nian, in a sailor outfit, rushes off to find Tan Feng, but upon arrival, she finds the cultivation room locked and empty. Irritated, she mutters, weren't they supposed to meet? Did he really go train? And where's his sister? Scanning around, she spots the verpod still running, then her phone rings. Wang Jian calls, excitedly asking where she found such a genius. He continues, puzzled, asking if she knows what's happening. He describes a whirlwind girl fighting 10 at once, a rare prodigy. Linian freezes, realizing it's Susu, astonished by the girl's power. She secretly wishes for such a subordinate, but when Wang Jian asks to recruit her, she instantly refuses. Rejected, Wang Jian still notes the terrifying potential she'd have with a strong exosuit. Liu Nian is stunned, refusing to believe the young girl is nearly a junior elementalist. Wang Jian pointedly asks if she truly didn't know, leaving Liu Nian flustered enough to hang up. She stands dazed, realizing both Tan Feng and his sister exceed imagination. A bold thought strikes, she must bring Susu to a special place to test her power. As Susu leaves the Veer zone, a surprise awaits. Liu Nian appears all smiles, offering her the pod she just used, stunning the girl. She insists it's a welcome gift because Susu is too adorable to refuse. Embarrassed, Susu declines, saying it's too valuable, but Liu Nian just laughs it off, wrapping an arm around her shoulders. Liu Nian gently asks her gene level and combat rating. Susu innocently says 199. Liu Nian is shocked, secretly suspecting the siblings were trained by some hidden master. She asks about real battle experience and is stunned to hear Susu's never joined a global mission. Hearing that, Liu Nian beams her plan seems perfectly on track. She softly coaxes Susu to join the global arena just for fun. When the girl asks what kind of game, Liu Nian grins slyly, fighting, pretending it's harmless. She proposes placing bets. Susu fights to win money while she handles logistics. The two enter the global battle hub. Susu wide-eyed at the bustling scene. Liu Nian deftly operates the console, announcing a betting match is about to begin. Nearby, some young men complain of lacking worthy opponents, wants billion credit weapons. Another mentions a 30-win champion. Suddenly, the feed shows a new account, Little Su of Yunyang, betting 10 million before even one fight. The crowd roars with laughter, calling her a foolish newbie, rushing to bet easy money. Linian smirks coldly, thinking those idiots will soon cry blood. Susu innocently asks how many people count as a full team. Liu Nian patiently explains each match allows 10 per side, opponents are auto-matched. A group pretends to be weak, taunting to lure Susu into joining. Though strong, she's shy in this new place and asks Liu Nian to pick for her. Liu Nian bursts out laughing, declaring anyone who wants to fight may join, bet as much as they dare. Meanwhile, Tan Feng finishes training, his wind element ascends to true 1-star rank. He gently floats midair, eyes gleaming the power of flight, unique to wind users at this stage. He opens his personal interface to review his upgraded stats. Current state: top tier wind element, early 1-star thunder, ice, and fire all boosted, power at 1400. He grinned, power nearly reaching peak 2-star, with thunder about to erupt again. System announced he earned the 1-star elementalist title and unlocked level 2 mall. He found 6 new items, notably divine seal shard that shortens condensation. Usable only by him, another rare potion tempted him, but 10 million credits weren't enough. He recalled 2 storage rings from Lin Huxiang and Bai Su, hoping for riches inside. After checking, only 200k and several locked bank cards. Just then, the system upgraded the recovery function, allowing direct withdrawals from cards. Tan Feng was thrilled yet cautious, fearing the transactions might be traced. The system assured total anonymity and traceable tech. He ordered withdrawal. The system pulled 520 million credits from 4 cards. Seeing the huge balance, he laughed like hit the jackpot. The system added that all items could now be converted. Fueling his excitement, he sold all loot, broken gear, and corpses alike for another 430 million. Stunned by profit, flush with cash, Tan Feng bought 2 mid-grade level 5 elixirs he once only dreamed of. One sip raised his power from 1,400 to 1,600 beyond expectations. The other he saved for Su Su, enough to match an early-stage elementalist. Then he bought her a spatial ring for weapon and mech storage. Browsing further, he skipped wind seals since had broken through fire was the weak link now. Without hesitation, he purchased 3 fire seal fragments to boost talent. After absorption, his fire element rose straight to 1-star early stage. When wielding wind blade, wind and fire merged perfectly, making him laugh with glee, but the surroundings suddenly ignited. Startling him, he quickly suppressed it, nearly burning down Liu Nian's entire building. Checking, he found the flames hit 600 C equal to a 3-star fire master. His combat power reached 2,200, far beyond peak 2-star, enough to fight early 3-star. He chuckled, imagining others shock if they knew. Normally, elementalists face 3 major thresholds to reach 3-star. From 2,000 to 5,000 power marks early 3-star, double the usual growth. Surpassing 3 stars at 2-star is impossible, yet Tan Feng believed he could. Upon reaching 3-star, every elementalist in Yunyang would fear him. After heavy spending, only 200 million remained time to plan new earnings. Meanwhile, Liu Nian and Su Su returned to base beaming. Su Su thrilled by the battle. Liu Nian transferred her 600 million, shocking Su Su about their equal split. Liu Nian confirmed her share stayed the same, leaving Su Su stunned by overnight riches. Liu Nian laughed, admitting she provoked Su Su on purpose to cash. She detailed how they won 500 million in the first match, then kept gambling big, crushing experts. They dominated the betting boards, taking only wagers above 100 million. Their streak put them 178th in the southern zone and earned over 10 billion. If not for their growing fame scaring rivals, profits could have doubled. Liu Nian sighed, exhausted from the long virtual fight. Planning to rest before buying upgrade gear, Su Su suggested opening a battle account for Ket, believing he'd earned big, proudly saying she'd learned lots. She admitted K crushed her easily, and even Liu Nian acknowledged Tan Feng's superior talent. Su Su believed he could reach top 10 and wanted to gamble alongside him. The more they chatted, the more excited Su Su became. While Liu Nian watched him with scheming admiration, she secretly vowed to keep Tan Feng close, her sly smile making Su Su suspicious. Liu Nian changed topics, telling her to rest at home, while Su Su took charge of cooking with ready ingredients. Liu Nian excused herself for a bath, secretly plotting a subtler way to approach him. Su Su transferred all her gambling winnings to Tan Feng. He froze, dropping his phone at the sight of the massive sum. She recounted last night's events, earning his praise for her business sense. He asked about Liu Nian, then planned to take Su Su to City Hall after breakfast. Su Su curiously asked why. He replied he wanted to help upgrade her residency status. She was surprised, confirming if he was truly an elementalist. He nodded, saying the status would keep her safe from the Lin family. She proudly bragged her brother was one too. He gifted her a pair of special rings, then handed her a level 5 spirit orb. Su Su drank it, feeling power surge through her body. Tan Feng told her to test her combat power. She was stunned to see 400 points equal to 1-star novice. He praised the potion, saying she was nearly a true 1-star. Su Su grew eager to learn more. She asked if she could gain a noble title. Shocking him, he answered that only elementalists qualified. She said Liu Nian once mentioned an exception. If one's strength reached 3-star level, they could apply for a baron rank, but she explained the jump from 2 to 3-star was huge, requiring 5,000 power and awakening skills. No one in history had a 2-star beat a 3-star, and he could only agree thoughtfully. He figured earning a baron title in Yunyang would make the Lin family wary. Su Su chimed in, suggesting breakfast before entering noble ranks together. Tan Feng was amazed by the lavish meal spread before him. She invited him to eat as he called for Liu Nian. She suddenly appeared. Liu Nian, in a charming maid outfit, asked for everyone's opinion. Su Su gushed compliments while Tan Feng nearly choked in surprise. Nian teased him playfully, stepping closer to ask his thoughts. Flustered, he called her beautiful, but she leaned even closer, forcing him to decline her service. At that close range, Nian suddenly sensed something unusual. She turned pale, stepping back and staring at him in shock. Su Su worriedly asked what was wrong. Tan Feng was equally puzzled. Nian trembled, asking if he'd broken through to 1-star fire element. He calmly confirmed. Though Shed suspected it, she was still stunned had reached that stage overnight. She silently confirmed Tan Feng was a rare prodigy, nearly unmatched in the Southern Alliance. She praised him as surpassing even Shangguan Yunyang. Su Su asked how he compared to Lin Xianyan, and Nian mocked a mortal versus a god. She secretly planned to pull him into her faction to boost her clan's fame. Seeing her strange gaze, he simply said he'd go with Su Su after breakfast. Confusing her, she proposed they stay at the military base, promising to make Su Su a lieutenant. Su Su was stunned but thrilled, while Nian asserted her high authority. The offer made Tan Feng hesitate, weighing Su Su's safety. Nian continued tempting him with perks and flirty teasing, leaving him awkward. He chuckled, fed her a sausage to cut her off, but she still insisted and invited Su Su to a fierce spar. Suddenly Liu Nian's phone rang. She answered, realizing it was Vice Officer Wang calling. After listening, her face changed. She quickly agreed and prepared to leave. She told them to keep eating, saying she had an emergency meeting at the base, then dashed off. Su Su feared the killing of Lin Huxian had been discovered, but he assured her it couldn't be traced yet. She still fidgeted, visibly anxious. He gently offered her a sausage skewer, comforting her that noble rank would bring protection. She nodded, agreeing to go to City Hall after breakfast. He approved. The TV broadcast urgent news: a massive beast-tide attack on Ice Moon City, causing major damage and affecting Yunyang for half a month. The warning urged vigilance, leaving both stunned. He guessed that's why Nyan left Su worried since the two cities were close. He confirmed, saying Yunyang would definitely feel the impact. The TV then announced a bounty on Chu Changtong, a 3-star fire master and Ice Moon Baron, worth 10 billion. Su gaped at the enormous bounty, trying to recall details. Suddenly she exclaimed excitedly after catching a clue. Her shout startled him. She hurriedly said she remembered something important. She revealed the person who messaged Lin Huxiang was Chu Changtong, making his gaze turn cold. He suspected shady ties between that man and the Lin family. Su confirmed Chu Changtong had traded with them before, and he agreed. She suggested reporting it to higher-ups to crush the Lin family's standing, but he calmly warned that without proof, it could backfire. She hesitated, unsure whether to pretend ignorance. He analyzed that Chu Changtong's traded item might relate to the beast tide. She was shocked, asking why the beast tribes were involved. He explained Chu Changtong was an Ice Moon Baron the very city just attacked and now wanted. Too coincidental. He concluded the La Ho Mountain deal was likely pre-planned, using the beast tide as a smokescreen for a larger plot. Su grew frightened, unsure what to do amid the chaos. After thinking, Tan Feng decided to personally investigate La Ho Mountain. Su panicked since had infiltrated the trade site, but he believed finding evidence could change everything. Inside, he was curious about Chu Changtong's cargo and ready to seize it if needed. As he planned, Su suddenly hugged him tightly, begging him not to risk his life. Tan Feng gently reassured her, promising to return safely. She cried in protest, fearing the powerful enemies and Lin family's involvement. To calm her, he smiled and activated a special technique to prove his strength. In an instant, he vanished from sight, leaving her shocked. While still stunned, she found herself lifted by him before she could react. She turned to see his mischievous grin as he teased her with his new ability. Amazed, she asked about it, and he modestly said it was a full stealth skill. She praised the talent, boosting his confidence that he could protect them. Convinced, she smiled and agreed to let him go. Tan Feng checked his route, decided to depart immediately, and transferred funds for her preparations. Su was startled by the large sum. Unsure why, he explained it was for her to buy items for the upcoming exam. She obediently agreed. Just then, Lu Nian entered angrily, scolding him for trying to leave quietly. Surprised, he quickly said it was just a short mission, and she reluctantly accepted. He asked her to look after Su during his absence, and she agreed to act as her protector. She seriously warned that areas outside the city were dangerous due to the beast tide. He said he knew. He quickly asked if wind or fire beast cores could be bought at the base. She promised to check. Lu Nian called her aide to check the warehouse, while he silently planned how absorbing one could skyrocket his power. She reported only wind cores left and led him to claim one. Making him overjoyed, he wondered how much his strength would grow after absorbing it. They reached the office. A soldier delivered a box of beast cores, then left. Only the two of them remained in the room. He saw it was a late 1-star wind core, more valuable than expected, and offered to pay. Nian generously said it was a gift for him, but he refused free favors, so she reluctantly agreed to sell it. After payment, he happily reached out to take the item, but she swiftly snatched it back, teasingly shaking the core in front of him. He blushed, trying to grab it. While she dodged playfully, she upped the mischief, casually slipping the core into her neckline. Pretending innocence, she scolded him for losing the core in her clothes, leaving him speechless. She kept acting, faking irritation and asking him to retrieve it. Annoyed but pressed for time, Tan Feng decided to handle it seriously. He approached, apologizing before moving, making her scream in shock. Her shout echoed down the hall, drawing curious onlookers. Moments later, blushing under the stairs, he left with the box in hand. Inside, Nian blushed but smiled, admitting his reaction had truly touched her heart. Leaving the base, Tan Feng glanced at his hand awkwardly, vowing never to be teased again. Seeing the quiet surroundings, he decided to absorb the core right there. Without hesitation, he swallowed it, activating his devouring skill as wind power exploded upward. Checking his stats, he saw mid-stage wind element, 2,600 combat power, and complete mastery. Realizing his terrifying cultivation speed, he felt proud to achieve what others took decades. With newfound strength, he planned to hunt beasts for further advancement. Wasting no time, he turned into a gust of wind and sped toward La Ho Mountain. Meanwhile, at the Lin family estate, Lin Jianhao warmly welcomed Lin Zhongyu to discuss business. Zhongyu accepted calmly, while Jianhao spoke earnestly about an important favor. He produced a ring, referencing the beast tide in Ice Moon City as the prelude. Busy meeting the city lord, he asked Lin Zhongyu to attend tonight's trade on his behalf. Sunai understood, respectfully handing the ring to Zhongyu. Zhongyu accepted, promising to handle it well, and Jianhao warned the ring held a crucial item needing protection. Time short, Zhongyu immediately departed for La Ho Mountain. Jianhao saw him off, stressing safety again. Left alone, he sighed deeply, his face heavy with worry. Suni gently sat on his lap, softly asking what troubled him. Jianhao confessed most of the family's fortune was tied to this deal, making him uneasy. She comforted him that third uncle was experienced and Chu Changtong was only early 3-star, nothing to fear. He just sighed, hoping for success. Seeing his anxiety, she mentioned Huxiang, who might become an elementalist if the trade succeeded. Hearing that, he brightened, gripping her hand, saying once Huxiang rose, the Lin clan would shake the entire alliance. holding her close, ambition burning. He declared they would surpass Shangguan Yunyang and rule the city. Suddenly remembering something, he asked her about Huxiang's whereabouts and latest contact. After thinking, Sunai replied that neither Huxiang nor Baisu had sent any news. Lin Jianhao frowned, ordering an investigation into a girl named Susu, suspecting her involvement. Sunai was surprised, asking if he thought she was the mastermind, but he denied it. Susu's power was too low. He reasoned that if Huxiang were alive, Susu wouldn't be unharmed. Her survival meant had met disaster. Sunai immediately left to investigate. Meanwhile, Tanfeng had no idea the Lin family had begun hunting Susu. He was battling a fierce three-tailed beast. The monster roared, hurling 3 massive fireballs at him. Tanfeng calmly drew the blood side of the blade, unleashing a powerful wind slash. The fireballs collided, triggering an explosion that shook the land. As smoke billowed, he leapt high, diving down like lightning. With full force, he struck the finishing blow, killing the beast cleanly. Checking the corpse, he was delighted to find a precious fire core. Without delay, he swallowed the crimson core to absorb its power. The system announced his fire element cultivation surged to 1-star mid-stage. 17 Phi. Feeling the energy rise, he noted the distinct differences between each element's absorption. Opening his status panel, Tanfeng reviewed his current realms and stats. Though progress wasn't huge, he was thrilled by the incredible growth rate. With his gear and skills in sync, he felt ready to fight stronger foes. His desire to seize enemy treasures grew, urging him faster toward Lahou Mountain. On the way, he kept hunting beasts to build more strength. Shadows flickered through the forest, footsteps soft beneath the leaves. A single figure appeared, making weaker beasts scatter in terror. Upon confirming his arrival at Lahou Mountain, he checked the tracker and saw warnings of dense beast presence. After assessing the area, he resumed searching for the meeting point between Chu Changtong and the Lin clan. Pushing his fire element to late stage but still lacking wind cores, suddenly, sounds of battle nearby made him alert. It could be Chu Changtong fighting. He quickly used his ice concealment art, sneaking closer. At the scene, a giant beast attacked a silver-haired elder who dodged effortlessly. The old man shouted angrily, and Tanfeng witnessed the entire clash. He recognized the creature as a swift-wind wolf, a rare wind-type beast, and silently rejoiced at the find. But the fighter wasn't Chu Changtong, it was another suspicious man seemingly tied to the Lin clan. Unsure who he was, Tanfeng stayed hidden, observing every movement of the beast circling the elder. The silver-haired man mocked loudly as the beast tried a sneak attack. In an instant, he summoned 3 crystals forming a triangle that radiated terrifying power. Shaking the air, slamming his hand down, countless energy spears shot out, piercing the beast instantly. Hidden in the dark, Tanfeng was awed by the divine-level formation art Void Heaven Array. From that, he identified the man as an Earth Elementalist at mid-3-star stage. Knowing he couldn't match that strength, he continued to hide and watch. From afar, a burning figure approached fast, its fiery aura shocking Tanfeng. It was a flame grandmaster. As the flames died down, the face revealed was none other than the wanted man, Chu Changtong. Chu smirked upon seeing the silver-haired elder, realizing it was Lin Zhongyu, not Lin Jianhao. Lin Zhongyu spoke heavily, blaming Chu for causing chaos across the alliance and forcing him to intervene for the clan. Hidden in the bushes, Tanfeng quietly recorded, thrilled to have clear proof linking the Lin clan and Chu. Outside, Lin Zhongyu asked how to open the Beast Rift Array, but Chu dodged, demanding the promised item first. Chu opened a box, confirming he'd brought the goods, prompting Lin Zhongyu to insist on seeing them. A dazzling light flashed. Tanfeng's system scan revealed it was the Ice God Fruit. Priceless relic. He held his breath, unable to believe the legendary treasure existed before his eyes. The Ice God Fruit could elevate one's ice aptitude to supreme level, his long-held dream. Thinking of Susu's jewel elements, including ice, he knew she could become an elementalist with it. Then Chu asked about the Lin clan's item, and Lin Zhongyu produced another box. When opened, the system identified the Fire God Fruit, a matching relic for the fire element. Tanfeng's eyes blazed with desire. If he obtained both, had surpassed ordinary limits. The deal continued. Chu inspected the Fire God Fruit and asked for the supporting item. Tanfeng spotted a flask glowing red Imperial Flow Flame, a liquid that boosts cultivation and condenses energy sigils. Stunned by its value, he accidentally made a sound. Chu instantly grew wary. Scanning around, Lin Zhongyu thought it was a beast ambush, but both dismissed it after finding nothing. Tanfeng shrank back, relieved yet burning with intent to steal all 3 treasures. Watching closely, he noticed tension between them, his perfect chance, and planted mines in advance. Chu confirmed the goods were genuine. Lin Zhongyu urged to finish fast since the area was dangerous. Both agreed and began transferring the items into spatial rings. Lin Zhongyu suggested swapping rings directly to finalize the exchange. Tanfeng crept closer, the 2 rings now only a few steps away. He detonated his preset mine, launching a daring robbery. The explosion roared, smoke engulfing everything as both elementalists were forced to defend. Seizing the chaos, Tanfeng dashed forward, snatched both rings, and bolted, shouting in exhilaration, clutching his spoils. He grinned wide at unexpected victory. Chu roared in fury, his energy igniting violently. Lin Zhongyu also exploded in rage, teeth clenched at the blatant ambush. Chu bellowed and unleashed flame rune palms, trying to force the thief into view. Tanfeng struggled to defend, but his concealment skill failed, exposing his position. The moment he appeared, Lin Zhongyu struck first with a colossal earthen smash. The old man cursed while attacking, calling him a reckless thief. Tanfeng countered with his ultimate technique and blood-sighed the blade, barely blocking the blow, Before he could breathe, Chu descended from above, hurling a devastating attack that worsened the situation. He narrowly avoided death, cold sweat dripping as he faced two mature 3-stars. With no time to spare, he activated Rapid Step to flee but was pinned by Lin Zhongyu's gravity array. Lin Zhongyu roared in anger, vowing not to let his prey escape. Tan Feng struggled, using the blood scythe blade to resist the crushing force but remained trapped. Chu sneered wickedly, gathering power for a finishing strike. With no escape, Tan Feng unleashed all his spiritual energy in desperate defense. The clash erupted violently, shockwaves tearing through the mountains. He was blasted away, body torn and organs severely wounded. Despite the pain, he was glad to survive thanks to his unique body and defensive armor. Chu laughed triumphantly, while Lin sneered, convinced no one could live through that combined strike. But upon arrival, both froze. The boy had vanished completely. They began doubting his true strength, guessing he might be an early 3-star with higher stealth. Lin Zhongju suddenly shouted, spotting blood trails and footprints heading another way. The two immediately gave chase, unaware it was a decoy. In hiding, Tan Feng grinned slyly. His diversion had worked perfectly. He pulled out the ice god fruit and consumed it, divine devouring rapidly healing his wounds. Gazing at the imperial flow flame, he felt sure he could refine it within minutes instead of a week. After swallowing it, the system announced a huge surge. Energy signals condensed successfully, reaching 53 Fi. Astonished by the breakthrough speed, he realized he's just one sigil short of 2-star fire rank. Seeing the two remaining relics, he decided to use them to max out his talent. Absorbing the fire god fruit, the system marked his fire aptitude as perfect. Next came the ice god fruit, boosting his ice attribute to supreme. Data showed Tan Feng now had multi-element mastery, divine devouring skill, and 4,000 combat power. Overjoyed, he felt his ice element reach peerless level and sensed thunder and ice nearing 1-star breakthrough. He planned to gift the ice relic to Su Suo to awaken her elemental power. Chu Chengtong's enraged roar echoed his sword to hunt his foe down. Tan Feng smirked coldly, eyes gleaming with teasing defiance. Chu flared with fury, ready to burn the place, but Lin Zhongyu halted when he spotted Tan Feng. He grinned wildly finally, the target they'd been chasing. Both men noticed their rings in Tan Feng's hands, suspicious of his sudden reappearance. Chu guessed the enemy was gravely wounded and decided to strike now. Lin Zhongyu agreed, wanting to kill him and resume business. He barked orders for everyone to attack. Suddenly, Lin Zhongyu turned on Chu, but Chu blocked with an iron staff. Chu exposed Lin's plot to steal the treasures and silence him. Lin panicked upon realizing Chu was actually late stage 3-star. Chu admitted had hidden his strength, waiting for the perfect kill. He unleashed a thunderous strike, killing Lin Zhongyu at La Ho Mountain after a few dying words. Laughing victoriously, he mocked the fool for betraying him. He then aimed his staff at Tan Feng, eyes bludgeoned. Ordering him to rise, Tan Feng asked how it had been found, and Chu replied he sensed the aura of life and death, making Tan suspect he was a beast in disguise. Chu sneered, mocking him for thinking lying still would keep him safe. Tan Feng calmly said had simply let them fight each other. He sighed, saying the battle ended too soon, then declared the man before him wasn't the real Chu Changtong. The imposter roared in shock, demanding what Tan Feng meant. Tan Feng pointed out the flaw. Chu Changtong was only early 3-star, while Lin Jianhao had the power to match this level. The figure grew cautious, taking a defensive stance. Tan Feng pressed, asking why a weaker man dared trade with 4-star masters without fear of death. He concluded that the real Chu Changtong was already dead and this was merely a pretender. The figure let out a raspy laugh. Admitting Tan Feng's sharp insight, he threatened that the clever die early, unleashing a monstrous demonic aura 8,000 power, shocking Tan Feng with its killing intent. Chu Changtong coldly asked one last time, while Tan Feng feigned defeat, begging for the fire god's staff secret that stunned him. He solemnly said the secret concerned all human life. Hearing that, Chu hesitated, had used it for ages and noticed nothing strange. Tan Feng talked in circles, claiming Chu hadn't grasped its real power and offered a life for info trade, which Chu tentatively agreed to. Tan Feng told him to plant the staff in the ground, step back thrice, and channel fire energy. Chu grew suspicious, sensing he was being played. Tan Feng denied it, saying he wasn't dumb enough to toy with someone as strong as Chu Changtong, who skeptically asked how he knew so much. Tan Feng said it was tied to his true identity and promised to reveal himself afterward. Curiosity got the better of Chu, so he followed the steps. He poured power into the staff, nothing happened, and he roared in fury. Tan Feng burst out laughing, admitting he'd tricked him and swiped both storage rings. Chu exploded in rage, realizing he'd been stalled and robbed blind. He lunged forward, shouting to reclaim his treasures. Tan Feng casually tossed the rings aside, acting unfazed. Chu snatched them midair, suspicion flashing in his eyes. Using the distraction, Tan Feng darted in and grabbed the fire god's staff. Chu's face twisted in panic as his prized relic vanished. Checking the rings, he froze completely empty. Tan Feng laughed proudly, flaunting that the staff was now in his own ring. Chu howled in fury, vowing to kill the deceitful brat. He gathered blazing energy into his fists and charged. Tan Feng's eyes turned cold as he drew his blade. Fearless, he struck with all might, stabbing straight into the torrent of fire. The explosion flung them both away. Tan Feng thought of fleeing. Chu shouted, demanding to know Tan Feng's real strength. Tan Feng mocked him, thanked him for the gift, and turned to retreat. He cast the hidden ice art and vanished from sight. Chu roared in rage, swearing not to let him escape. He hurled a massive fireball toward Tan Feng's direction. Enraged, he cursed Tan Feng as a filthy liar. Burning his last energy, his whole body ignited, vowing annihilation. Tan Feng fled at full speed. Horrified at Chu's transformation, Chu now became a giant flame ape, radiating terrifying power that baffled Tan Feng. He bellowed across the mountain, declaring Tan Feng must die. Tan Feng sensed his foe had reached triple star peak, nearly 4-star, and panicked inside, Losing sight of him, Chu sniffed the air, making Tanfeng realize his plan in fear. Chu turned toward Tanfeng's scent, eyes blazing. Shouting he'd found him, he boasted his nose would catch him and charged like the wind, scaring Tanfeng stiff. In despair, Tanfeng heard running water and changed course. He guessed a big river was nearby, believing water could mask his scent. He sprinted faster as Chu chased, roaring threats. Tanfeng spotted a shimmering lake ahead and rushed toward it in joy. Chu caught on and roared to block him. Tanfeng dodged a punch that cracked the earth open. He countered with a fiery strike, then retreated fast. Chu furiously hurled a giant fire fist after him. Tanfeng dove into the river just in time. Shaken by the speed, fire met water in a violent blast, smoke veiling the lake. Chu stood on the shore, fuming at his loss and humiliation. He suddenly thought to flee La Hoa Mountain before the dark organization found him. Remembering the experiments that twisted him, he swore never to be captured again. He hurried away, leaving the mountain forest in eerie silence. Suddenly, a hand rose from the middle of the river. Tanfeng surfaced, gasping in relief that the water had saved him. He ignited his fire energy to dry himself instantly. Frowning, he pondered how Chu Changtong showed both human and beast traits a rarity. He knew only star-ranked beasts could fully take human form, so Chu's state puzzled him. He set it aside. Tanfeng smirked slyly, eyes gleaming as he prepared to absorb the last wind orchid core. Using the lute, he activated his talent, absorbed the wind-type core. Light flared, and his cultivation rose by 10, reaching great perfection. His wind power surged, swiftly reaching late 1-star stage in its peak. Tanfeng laughed heartily, proud of his absurdly fast absorption, pushing both wind and fire to their limits. He noticed his ice element evolving too, his talent now 10 times faster, and the divine seal nearly complete. He chose to stay and train until surpassing the lightning element instead of rushing back. At dawn, fierce winds swept the sunlit mountain peak. After a grueling night of cultivation, Tanfeng rose, glowing with fierce spiritual light. His system showed wind and fire at great perfection, lightning at beginner, ice just budding, total power 6,000. Seeing that, he smiled. His strength now rival late triple-star experts in Yunrong City. Only 2 people matched that, so wiping out the Lin clan was just a matter of time. Knowing the Lin clan was tracing him, he returned to protect the girl. Scene shifted to Defense Base 22, in the deputy commander's office. Cold Girl discussed plans with Wang Jianlai. She thanked him on behalf of her family. He replied with a polite smile. Wang Jianlai humbly said it was nothing. A soldier burst in reporting that the Feng refugee group was attacked by beasts. Only 7 survived. He handed over the file, shocking the Lin girl with suspicion. Hearing about survivors, she instantly thought Sui Sui might still be safe and sensed something off. Wang Jianlai calmly explained, but she demanded to recheck all reports. Reading carefully, she saw matching testimonies, but her instincts screamed wrong. She knew Lin Huyang too well. If he were alive, and never spare Sui Sui, so the girl must hold some secret. Her tone turned grave as she ordered to meet Sui Sui in person. She forbade interruptions and demanded the girl be brought immediately. Wang Jianlai agreed at once. Secretly plotting profit from allying with the Lin family, he sent orders to Vice Officer Chu to fetch her, but the man looked troubled. Turns out Sui Sui had been reassigned by the commander, enraging Wang Jianlai. Seeing the mess, the Lin girl volunteered to meet Commander Lu directly, confident her influence would grant approval. In the training hall, Sui Sui practiced hard, each precise move shaking the floor. After defeating all targets, she rejoiced at her unexpected progress. She felt her armor and skills now perfectly synchronized. Joy filled her heart as she imagined her brother's shocked face at her growth. Just then, Tanfeng appeared. Clapping in praise, she laughed and ran to him. Thrilled he'd returned safely, Sui Sui proudly showed off her new armor, and Tanfeng praised it. Curious about its functions, she introduced it as the Advanced Tex 121 Light Armor, self-adjusting and powered by rare nuclear energy. She demonstrated how the armor could shrink into a handy compact form, sleek and practical. Thanks to it, her power rose by 100 points, enough to face MIDI elemental masters. Tanfeng smiled proudly. Cheerfully, she showed her storage ring packed with beast cores she'd bought as he advised, handing him a box full of them. Tanfeng beamed, planning to use them for cultivation. Teasing her for splurging, Sui Sui laughed, admitting she'd spent every last coin. Tanfeng chuckled, patted her shoulder, telling her not to worry while mentally counting his fortune. Nearly 33 billion total, 30 new plus his old assets. With his current strength, money was trivial. That sum could buy higher cores and weapons. He remembered upgrading her rank and asked if she'd taken the test. She said she'd been busy training with the mech suit. Tanfeng joked, then asked about Sister Nian, her instructor. Sui Sui excitedly told him about yesterday's shopping trip with Liu Nian, which left her exhausted but happy. Afterward, Liu Nian shut herself in to break through to 2-star rank. Mid-conversation, Sui Sui asked about the La Hoa Mountain deal Tanfeng boasted had recorded proof strong enough to trap the Lin clan. He pulled a large box from his ring and handed it to her, sparking her curiosity. Opening it, Sui Sui squealed in delight. It was the legendary ice god fruit. Overwhelmed, she asked again, but Tanfeng just smiled warmly, saying it was a small gift. He took her hand, inviting her to buy beast cores and join the advancement exam. She eagerly agreed. On the way, Tanfeng secretly planned to push his ice and lighten to perfection, then enter the noble ranks with her. Lost in thought, they ran into Wang Jianlai and a Lin family girl. Wang praised Sui Sui's talent, making the girl suspicious. Wang studied closely, realizing she was in the commander's private unit. Regretting not knowing earlier, Lin Shu, behind him, quietly confirmed Lin Haiyang must have met trouble and vowed to investigate. Wang kept flattering until Tan Feng asked who they were. He introduced them as from the defense zone and let Lin Shu speak. Hearing that, Tan Feng's face hardened. She was Lin Clan, so he instantly grew wary. Lin Shu stepped up softly, asking Susu to come with her. The girl froze in confusion. Tan Feng immediately cut in, refusing outright, his icy gaze shielding his sister. His firm stance angered Lin Shu. She hadn't expected such rudeness. The tension made Wang Jianlai rush to explain her noble status, while Lin Shu began suspecting the man was Tan Feng himself. Hearing Lin Clan, Susu trembled, but Tan Feng gently patted her shoulder, assuring her he was here. He demanded explanations right there, forbidding them to take his sister anywhere. Wang urged calm, stressing the Lin Clan's authority. But Tan Feng didn't budge. He gripped Wang's shoulder and coldly declared that neither the Lin Clan nor Osino could take Si Sui away. The mention of Osino stunned Lin Shu, her face paling in shock. Tan Feng barked, forcing her to speak here. Lin Shu glared at him with burning hatred. He vowed not to let her trail his sister. Lin Shu clenched her teeth, fearing Haiyang's issue would be exposed, so she held back questions. She turned to ask Wang about the commander, but Tan Feng answered instead that he was in seclusion and saw no one. Feeling disrespected, she fumed while Wang tried to smooth things over, urging both sides to calm down. Lin Shu shouted that this couldn't be discussed here, asking Wang to relay Shed take the girl and return in 2 days. Wang panicked, refusing. No one could leave the base without orders. She ignored him, sneering at Susu, saying the commander could come find her if he dared. She tried to drag Sui Sui away, killing intent flashing, determined to save Haiyang at any cost. Tan Feng suddenly raised his hand, making Lin Shu freeze at the unpredictable move. Then he slapped her hard, sending her flying, shouting for her to leave at once. Lin Shu clutched her face, stunned, not grasping what just happened. Tan Feng stepped forward, eyes cold as steel, warning her never to touch his sister again. Wang Jianlai was dumbstruck. He hadn't imagined a Lin Clan member could be floored so easily. He began suspecting Tan Feng had reached late-stage fire element mastery, talent far beyond normal. Lin Shu staggered up, mind reeling at such overwhelming power. She suspected Tan Feng was even more dangerous than Haiyang. Realizing she couldn't linger, she fled, shouting threats. Ignoring Wang's calls, leaving only warnings behind, Wang looked at the siblings, while Tan Feng calmly assured everything was under control. Wang advised him to leave soon. The Lin Clan would surely retaliate, and he couldn't intervene. Tan Feng nodded gratefully. After speaking, Wang Jianlai left, muttering about his cursed luck with troublemakers. Susu trembled, calling her brother. Tan Feng squeezed her hand, saying it was all within plan. He opened his palm with a mischievous grin that stunned her. She gaped at Lin Shu's storage ring resting in his hand, utterly impressed. She didn't know this was his specialty, had once stolen from powerhouses. Tan Feng pinched her cheek, joking as she called him a thief. They checked the ring together. Finding piles of treasures, Tan Feng gave her an ice spirit pill, which she accepted gratefully. While they rejoiced, Lin Shu had already left the base. In her vehicle, she realized the ring was gone, her heart clenching in panic. She recalled Tan Feng's strike, suspecting he'd stolen it then. His image flashed in her mind, sending chills. If he'd wanted, she'd already be dead. Rage flared. She swore to have her cousin avenge her and sped toward the Lin Clan. Suisu worried Lin Shu might return, but Tan Feng assured her the woman was too scared to come near. He added she had no proof and could only swallow her anger, making them both laugh. Just then, Liu Nian appeared with fierce energy, teasing that Tan Feng had hurt another girl's feelings. Su Sui hugged her tight, while Tan Feng sensed Shed reached 2-star water element. He congratulated her, shocking Liu Nian that he saw through her rank. Sui Sui cheered too. After chatting, Liu Nian noticed battle traces and asked if they were hurt. Sui Sui explained the Lin clan's disturbance. Hearing that, Liu Nian exploded in anger, cursing Lin Shu's arrogance. She comforted Su Sui, vowing to protect her if the Lin clan returned, boasting even the city lord respected her. Tan Feng thought she was exaggerating, then asked details about the Lin clan's strength. Liu Nian explained the Lin clan was among Yunrong city's top powers, 3 counts, 2 lords, and many noble warriors. Su Su was stunned by their might, while Tan Feng focused on the 4-star expert leading them. Liu Nian replied it was Lin Yuan Kun, father of Lin Jianhao, once peak 4-star, now secluded to break into 5-star. Tan Feng was shocked, realizing such a man stood above the law, able to kill without consequence. Worried, Su Sui asked what if they returned. Tan Feng insisted they couldn't stay passive. He suggested leaving before the Lin clan acted. Su Sui agreed, and Liu Nian curiously asked their destination. Tan Feng said he wanted to upgrade his sister's rank and buy items. Liu Nian eagerly joined, planning a trip after her breakthrough. She suggested visiting the Yuan Kai betting district. Sui Sui agreed but joked about being broke, making them both laugh. Amid the latter, Tan Feng secretly fretted over Lin Yuan Kun's true power and vowed to strengthen himself with more beast cores. Scene shifted to the Grand Political Plaza, where the Warriors' Hall towered. In a training chamber, the system announced Tan Feng's ice and lightning had reached Unistar great perfection. Overjoyed, he saw his cultivation complete, power surge into 8,000 points. The system showed all 4 elements mastered, skills strong enough to face late 3-star experts. He concluded only Lin Jianhao and his father remained true threats. Before that, he helped Liu Nian and his sister advance, then bought hundreds of beast cores and absorbed most himself. Despite great talent, he calculated it would take at least a month to break through and complete the 2nd sigil. He feared if Lin Yuan Kun acted before then, his life would be in danger. Suddenly, the system unlocked a divine mission in extreme training realm, no death. But failure meant losing rewards. Delighted, he saw it as a chance to evolve quickly. When asked to start now, he hesitated, choosing to prepare first. Seeing it was late and the officials had left, he planned to meet Su Sui and ready for the coming trial. Scene shifted to the Lin family manor, where Lin Yu hurried home, she reported to Lin Jianhao that Huiyang's disappearance was definitely tied to Tan Feng and his sister. Hearing that, Lin Jianhao grieved, believing Huiyan likely dead. He regretted being too harsh with his brother despite loving him deeply. Lin Yu urged him to stay hopeful, restoring his resolve to investigate. Lin Jianhao coldly ordered Tan Feng's capture at any cost. Lin Yu hesitated, knowing Tan Feng's strength rash action might backfire, but he dismissed it, claiming even geniuses turned to dust and death and had bear the fallout. Understanding, Lin Yu accepted and left quickly before the city lord could intervene. She worried over losing contact with third uncle, suspecting something bad had happened. Lin Jianhao fell silent, then urged her on, uneasy himself about his brother. At City Hall, Tan Feng was guided by staff through rank-up procedures. They reached a bustling arena where ability tests were held. On stage, two fighters clashed fiercely, thrilling the crowd. Tan Feng realized one was his sister. Surprised the match wasn't over, Sui Su was dueling a mid-1-star metal element master. Evenly matched. Watching, Tan Feng felt proud of her progress. Susui unleashed fierce attacks, striking like a storm. Tan Feng judged the opponent tough, but his sister's dominance proved she'd reached mid-1-star stage. The crowd erupted, praising Sui Su and admitting they'd underestimated her skill and talent. On the judges' bench, Elder Cheng praised Sui Su as a rare prodigy worthy of reporting to the city lord. Another judge agreed, amazed that at just 13, her potential far surpassed her peers. Sui Su unleashed her final strike, blasting the metal master off the stage. The crowd roared in celebration while her opponent raged, denying defeat. He immediately countered with the Heavener seizing strike aimed at Sui Sui. She stayed calm, took a firm stance, and waited for the right moment. Judge Ching shouted to halt the match, declaring the result already decided. Both stopped. Sui Sui regretted not going all out. While her foe trembled, the judge ordered the metal master offstage. Sui Sui curiously asked who won. Elder Ching smiled and confirmed her victory. He formally announced Sui Sui had passed the rank 2 Baron test, and the crowd cheered in unison. Beaming, Sui Sui thanked them and followed the judges for paperwork. Tan Feng arrived just in time to witness her win. She joyfully called out to him. He congratulated her, asked about Nian Du, and went along to finish forms. The judge handed Sui Sui her rank 2 Baron badge. She carefully pinned it to her chest and bowed in gratitude. The judge suggested Tan Feng upgrade his civil rank. Sui Sui revealed he was already level 4 and came to rise in title. The judge was stunned that Tan Feng sought to raise his noble rank through raw strength. Tan Feng released his aura, flames engulfed him as he declared to earn it by power. Shocking all as he revealed himself a 1-star fire master. The blazing energy formed a brilliant fire dragon swirling around him, lighting up the hall. Elder Cheng gasped, sensing a 1-star fire master at great perfection. The majestic dragon circled him, leaving Cheng even more shaken as he confirmed Tan Feng's true level. He couldn't believe a teenager had reached such a realm, his potential surpassing even the city lords. When the flames faded, Elder Cheng remained stunned, silently hailing Tan Feng as a once-seen generation's genius. Tan Feng calmly asked if the title advancement could proceed immediately. Elder Cheng cheerfully agreed and warmly offered fine tea to befriend him. The three sat together. Tan Feng chose the long's breath tea, and the maid left to brew it. While waiting, he asked about the advancement rewards. Worried since he'd spent all on beast cores, Elder Cheng detailed that prizes range from 30 million up to 1 billion at level 4. Tan Feng silently rejoiced, thinking a count's title could earn him billions, just the capital he needed. He also reasoned that higher rank would make the Lin clan hesitate, while Cheng continued describing privileges and influence. Curious, Sui Sui asked if titles held power across other alliances. Cheng patiently explained. He said the world had 7 great alliances, each protected by a 9-star elemental master. However, the alliances were at odds, united only because the beasts were a shared enemy preventing war. Traveling to another alliance without being branded a spy was lucky. Keeping the same rights there was impossible. Elder Cheng sighed about human nature, prompting Tan Feng to ask if title leaps were allowed. Hearing that, Cheng nearly choked on tea, stunned that Tan Feng aimed straight for the count's title. Suddenly, the door burst open. Cheng angrily demanded to know who dared. As a burly man entered with Lin Yu, Cheng recognized him. Lin Hai, an early 3-star water master who instantly shouted Lin Shu's name. Lin Shu's face turned cold as she pointed at Tan Feng and Sui Sui, declaring them the wanted targets. Su flinched, but Tan Feng only sneered, noting how fast his enemies reacted. Elder Cheng rushed to mediate, planning to introduce Tan Feng as a rare genius to ease tensions. But Lin Hai ignored him, stepping forward and ordering the siblings to come with him. Tan Feng replied coldly, while Sui Sui firmly said their noble ranks protected them from his authority. Seeing her rank 2 Baron badge, Lin Hai froze, and Lin Shu's eyes widened in disbelief. Furious, Lin Shu demanded Sui Su's arrest. Lin Hai's killing intent surged, as Elder Cheng intervened, urging calm and clarity. Lin Hai said nothing. He simply waved his hand, flinging Cheng aside and roaring for him to move. Grinding his teeth, he repeated the order to seize the pair. Tan Feng stood tall, coldly demanding he step aside, enraging Lin Hai. Elder Cheng, trembling on the ground, couldn't believe Tan Feng dared face a true count. Lin Hai roared, launching a frontal strike at Tan Feng in fury. Tan Feng moved like lightning, peering behind him and Lin Yu. The blow hit only an afterimage, leaving both shocked by his impossible speed. Elder Cheng cried out, begging them not to harm Tan Feng, calling him a once-in-a-generation talent. Lin Hai barked for him to stay back, forcing Cheng to obey. He growled that Tan Feng must come Willing or not, Tan Feng smirked, mocking the man wasn't qualified. Sui Su worriedly called his name, but Tan Feng reassured her this was a live combat lesson. Lin Hai unleashed a barrage of water energy, cursing Tan Feng's arrogance. The torrents formed a colossal dragon surging forward. Tan Feng dodged gracefully like a shadow, evading every strike. The audience held their breath. Sui Sui cheered in awe, and Lin Yu stood frozen. Elder Qing was horrified yet amazed. Tan Feng's combat skill far outstripped Sly Sui's. Exploiting his speed, Tan Feng closed in within a blink. Lin Hai suddenly swung a counterpunch, but it whiffed, hitting only air. Tan Feng seized the moment and drove a brutal punch into his opponent's gut. Lin Hai doubled over, eyes bulging in pain. Tan Feng followed with an uppercut to the chin. The man shot up, head stuck in the ceiling. Lin Yu panicked, while Su Sui cheered. Elder Qing was speechless. A 1-star defeating a 3-star and recalled Tan Feng's talk of becoming a count. Tan Feng calmly adjusted his clothes and asked his sister for feedback. She said she'd learned a lot. He chuckled, saying it held back on purpose. Elder Cheng's face paled. He suspected Tan Feng was already mid 3-star. Strength beyond measure, Su Su shouted in excitement, while Lin Yu trembled, calling for a 4th uncle. As Lin Hai still refused to yield, he sprang up, eyes bludgeoned, body radiating murderous rage. Screaming in humiliation, he charged wildly, while Tan Feng remained composed. Without hesitation, Tan Feng drew his gleaming blade to meet him. When fist met sword, energy exploded violently, shaking the entire room. Su Su screamed in thrill. Lin Yu stood petrified, speechless. Elder Qing cowered in a corner, terrified the hall would be destroyed. Tan Feng struck faster, knocking Lin Hai down for good, leaving everyone stunned. He warned coldly he'd kill anyone who resisted again. Lin Hai broke into cold sweat, eyes filled with terror. A mighty voice thundered, pressure flooding the room, making all struggle to breathe. A burly man entered, aura towering, and coldly ordered everyone to stand down. Elder Cheng and Tan Feng both stiffened, sensing he was late 4-star level. Kun Feng guessed the newcomer was Lin Yuan Kun, the Lin family head. He approached, voice like steel, ordering Qin Feng to drop the blade. The crushing pressure made Qin Feng struggle to breathe, realizing the vast power gap. Yet he stood firm, channeling spiritual energy to protect his sister at all costs. Shua Shou trembled, calling her brother with teary, worried eyes. Just then, the Vice City Lord appeared, smiling slyly at Qin Feng. He praised Kun Feng's courage, but someone interrupted, demanding he lower his sword, freezing them both. Elder Cheng and Lin Hai instantly bowed in deep respect. Kun Feng and Shua Shou recognized the figure, stunned as they greeted him reverently. From afar, Lu Nian arrived with a girl, introducing the man as the Vice City Lord. Seeing a familiar face, Shua Shou joyfully greeted him, and both siblings bowed properly. Guy then smiled in approval, then noticed the rare badge on Shua Shua's robe with surprise. After a few kind words, he turned stern, demanding Cheng Zhong explain everything. Making a high tremble, Elder Cheng panicked and, under harsh scolding, confessed everything without hiding a word. Hearing it all, Nguyen then roared in fury, rebuking Lin Hai for attacking city residents. He emphasized that such acts eroded trust and endangered the city's gifted. Nguyen then declared that cultivators were the pillars keeping humanity alive amid beastly threats. He condemned destroying talents instead of protecting them, denouncing the abuse of power. Under that overwhelming aura, Lin Hai fell silent while Lin Yu hastily tried to justify herself. Before she could finish, a chilling stare froze her. Guyan then sensed her deceit. Lin Yu quickly blamed Qin Feng for stealing a ring, claiming she only sought her lost item. Nguyen then demanded proof, but she fumbled, unable to show any. Lu Nian snapped, accusing her of slander after losing. Shua Shu added, exposing her for arbitrary arrests, making Lin Yu bow silently. Furious, Nguyen then accused the Lin family of defying the law and demanded to face Lin Jian Hao. Under his fierce aura, Lin Hai trembled and stammered, while Nian then told Elder Cheng to treat Qin Feng well before leaving. On the way out, Lu Nian praised Qin Feng's valor for defeating He, but he only smiled modestly. She then brought along a girl, introducing her as the city lord's daughter, Shangwen Ziji. Standing before Qin Feng, Ziaji looked uneasy, avoiding his eyes as if hiding something. Qin Feng squinted suspiciously, feeling he'd met her somewhere before. He suddenly recalled, shocked, saying he'd once met Ziji in a strange alley incident. Lu Nian instantly reacted, suspecting they'd known each other, while Ziji hurriedly denied it. Qin Feng tried to play it off with a joke, though inside he feared the old secret might slip. Lu Nian teased, calling Ziji an untouchable beauty, making Qin Feng grin awkwardly as Shua Shu sighed over her brother's charm. CJ blushed, begging them to stop, while Liu Nian noticed Shua Shu's new badge and praised it endlessly. Shua Shu smiled modestly, saying she was still far from skilled. Lu Nian admired her, then eagerly joined a betting game despite being broke. Left among the girls, Qin Feng turned to ask Elder Cheng about the promotion to first-class Earl. Elder Cheng agreed immediately, saying Qin Feng's public victory over a higher rank qualified him. When asked about the reward, Elder Cheng announced over 1.65 billion credits, making Qin Feng ecstatic. He added a villa and supercar bonus, leaving Qin Feng stunned by his sudden fortune. At the Lin estate, Lin Jianhao bowed an apology while Nguyen sternly warned that hindering geniuses was dangerous. Lin Jianhao promised to apologize to Qin Feng. Nguyen forbade any repeat offense before leaving the trio heavy-hearted. Once he left, gloom fell. Lin Jianhao cursed Nguyen as a Shangwen lackey. While Lin Yu and Hai trembled, he claimed the issue wasn't Lin family's fault but Qin Feng's freakish brilliance. Hai shuddered, admitting Qin Feng might even surpass City Lord Shangwen. A future threat, Lin Yu cautiously mentioned the Hu Yang incident, making Lin Jianhao grimly order his elder brother summoned for counsel. She hesitantly asked if he planned to strike Kun Feng again. Lin Jianhao slammed the table, vowing revenge for his son at any cost. Before she could reply, he rode to kill Kun Feng secretly, forcing her to nod. Scene shifted to the luxury villa zone reserved for earls in Yunyang City. Butler respectfully greeted Kun Feng, welcoming him home. Before them stood a lavish mansion with 2 servants bowing to their new master. Elder Qing asked his thoughts. Kun Feng smiled satisfied. While Shuo cheered at the splendor, Liu Nian marveled at Yang City's generosity toward talent. Ziji agreed, saying her father cherished the gifted. Elder Qing added the vice city lord had assigned 3 personal attendants to Kun Feng. He then handed over an ornate box containing the earl's badge. Kun Feng pinned it on and jokingly asked his sister if he looked noble, making Shuo clap and laugh. Nearby, Liu Nian whispered to Ziji, amazed that a former civilian was now an earl. Ziji sighed softly, praising Kun Feng's looks and status as both admired him. As night fell, Elder Cheng took his leave. Kun Feng nodded farewell in good spirits. Shuo excitedly explored the villa, thinking even the floor smelled fragrant. Ziji explained it came from rare wood. Kun Feng laughed, telling her to get used to a life of luxury. Liu Nian suddenly sat close, subtly inviting Kun Feng to the military district with a suggestive tone. Her boldness flustered him, making his words stumble. He tactfully mentioned the Lin family threat and his need to stay in the inner city for safety. Liu Nian pouted, lamenting she couldn't stay longer due to the army's high alert. Kun Feng curiously asked why, suspecting a coming beast tide. She confirmed the beast tide was approaching Yunyang City. Heightening his concern, Liu Nian began describing strange objects after Earth's calamity, especially the divine tree in Ice Moon City. The Ice Moon divine tree bore 2 precious ice god fruits only once every few centuries. They Benefrost origin masters, but details were vague since the Southern Alliance guarded them tightly. Chu Changtong used the beast tide to breach defenses and steal the ice god fruits. Kun Feng asked why he didn't take the whole tree. Liu Nian casually said that info was public on the city forum. She added the forum was exclusive to high-ranked cultivators, the gathering place of the elite. Kun Feng nodded, better understanding the city's hierarchy and privileges. Suddenly excited, he asked Liu Nian for help with a top-secret favor. Surprising her, he quietly said he wanted a few nuclear warheads, making her gasp in shock. She sternly explained such weapons, though effective against beasts, were banned in populated areas. Kun Feng grasped her hand, swearing he'd use them only in deserted zones, staking his honor on it. Inwardly, he planned to use them as secret weapons for the upcoming divine trial. Moved by his sincerity, Liu Nian reluctantly agreed, saying she could only get 1 mini warhead with limited power. He seemed unsatisfied, saying 1 wasn't enough. She corrected that 3 in succession could kill a 4-star, but extra required top approval. Hearing that, Kun Feng looked toward Ziji, who was playing warmly with Shuo. He thought of asking her for help, since she was the city lord's daughter, leaving Liu Nian feeling outmatched. Still, Liu Nian quickly regained composure, smiling slyly that if Kun Feng cared more, her help would be a problem, mocking Ziji as cold and distant. Contrary to that, Ziaji blushed and softly said she was willing to help Kun Feng. She added she could only request up to 3 mini warheads, making Kun Feng thank her joyfully. Liu Nian froze, fuming that her friend stole the spotlight. Jealous as sisterhood wavered before his charm, Ziji shyly repeated she could only get 3 small nukes, while Shuo innocently praised her scent and invited her to join the fragrance club. Kun Feng was thrilled 3 warheads were enough and began planning strategies for the divine trial. Liu Nian shook her head, puzzled why cold Ziji was suddenly so willing to help. She suddenly shouted, accusing them of harboring feelings, then got confused about her own jealousy. Ziaji and Feng denied in unison, insisting their relationship was pure admiration. Ziji seriously reminded that nukes were national assets. Kun Feng asked the price and agreed to pay 2 billion each. He transferred instantly. Ziji confirmed receipt and promised delivery by tomorrow afternoon, delighting Kun Feng with his new trump card. After their talk, Liu Nian dragged Ziji away, while Shuo cheerfully invited her to visit tomorrow. When they left, Kun Feng and Shuo enjoyed their new home. She thrilled by its luxury. He moved by the safety it offered. Shuo excitedly wanted an all-night game party, so Kun Feng flicked her forehead playfully. He told her to refine the ice god fruit. Startled, she dashed into her room for seclusion. Watching her go, Kun Feng pondered the Lin family threat, vowing to complete the divine trial for strength. Before acting, he took out Lin Zhongyu's phone, smirking with calculation. At the Lin estate, a scared man named Lin Dao touted the rumors about Kun Feng's strength. Lin He sighed, admitting defeat miserably, his body still aching all over. Lin Daokai couldn't believe it, thinking that boy was at best a peak 1-star. Lin Jianhao interrupted, insisting it was Kun Feng who killed Hu Yang. Lin Daokai furiously declared he'd kill Kun Feng that very night for revenge. Lin Jianhao agreed but proposed all 3 join forces since Kun Feng was too strong and well-backed. Lin Daokai hesitated, thinking it excessive, but Jianhao insisted full force was needed to avoid failure. After discussion, they finalized a covered attack plan. Lin Daokai and a high-clasped hands, battle intent blazing as they accepted the order. Jianho asked about Lin Zhongyu's whereabouts. Lin Yu reported no contact and his phone dead for days. Suddenly, panicked alarms blared outside announcing an emergency. Lin Xinyang rushed in, handing his father a phone. Urgent news from the Yunyang City Forum. When asked, he said Kun Feng had used Lin Zhongyu's account to post a video exposing his collusion with Chu Changtong, adding mocking commentary. The hall erupted in chaos as proof of Lin Zhongyu's shady dealings was made public. Lin Jianhao roared, smashing the phone. Daokai enraged at their secret exposed, while Qin Yang mourned his shattered device. Lin Yu pointed out a detail in the clip linking Jianhao himself, worsening the Lin family's guilt. Lin Daokai panicked, fearing the clan would be condemned for colluding with enemies to trigger the beast tide. Lin Yu went pale, realizing it meant treason, while Qin Yang begged his father for a way out. A ringing phone shattered the tense silence. Lin Jianhao answered City Lord calling, ordering him to the manor within 10 minutes. Hearing that name, Lin Yu and Qin Yang turned ashen. Knowing the matter had reached the top, Lin Jianhao admitted he must go, as hiding would only worsen suspicion. He ordered Lin Yu to contact Chu Changtong for details, and she obeyed immediately. While Qin Yang was still confused, Jianhao raised doubts about the post's authenticity. He reasoned Lin Zhongyu might have betrayed them for the ice god fruit, and was secretly recorded. Lin Daokai asked who filmed it. Jianhao suspected Chu Changtong or another who killed them both. Lin Yu reported she had reached Chu Changtong, and Jianhao demanded results. She said the trade was sabotaged by a masked assailant who killed one man and wounded her uncle before escaping. Lin Xinyang confirmed a third party existed. Lin Yu added the attacker seemed young. Deduced by scent, Lin Jianhao repeated the suspect's age thoughtfully to remember. Lin Daoqian doubted it, saying someone that strong must be at least a 3-star too much for a youth. Lin Xinyang tried to speak, but everyone suddenly fell silent. Every gaze turned toward Qin Feng. Scene shifted to the city hall, where furious voices grilled Lin Jianhao, and Guyan then accused the Lin family of conspiring to cause the beast tide and endangering the city. Chudong stressed the scandal's grave impact on all elemental masters. Lai Yu urged a thorough probe before the alliance intervened. City Lord Shangguan Yunyang sternly demanded Lin Jianhao's explanation. Lin Jianhao denied any Lin involvement with the Ice Moon City beast tide. He claimed Lin Zhongyu acted alone and was exploited posthumously. The city lord doubted him, demanding proof. Lin Jianhao pointed to the ice god fruit as the key clue. He revealed the suspect was a young man under 25, Kun Feng. He theorized Kun Feng knew of the deal and kept the ice god fruit in a frost-type ring, and Guyan then said retrieving it would count as merit. Prompting the city lord to ask for its location, Lin Jianhao confidently declared had already sent agents in secret. Promising results by morning, the city lord approved, instructing Chu Dong and Li Yu to coordinate with Counselor Lin overnight. The two officials rose to comply, calming the city lord slightly. Lin Jianhao fumed, realizing Shangguan Yunyang no longer trusted him. He knew the two were assigned to watch him and prevent escape. He silently plotted, waiting for his uncles to kill Qin Feng before striking back. Outside, Shangguan Yunyang sighed to Nguyen Than, confessing worries about the future. He admitted that mishandling the Lin case could ruin his 3-star promotion plan. Nguyen then smiled reassuringly, saying even if the Lin clan fell, the city could still advance. Shangguan asked in surprise when Nguyen then became so flattering. Nguyen then insisted he was serious, making Shangguan eager to hear more. Nguyen then said had personally witnessed Kun Feng and his sister ZG, two rare prodigies. Shangguan was shocked to learn Qin Feng, under 20, had reached peak 1-star. He also heard Qin Feng defeated Lin Hai, and his sister was already a level 2 baron. The city lord doubted it, thinking Nguyen Than drunk, but was assured it was true. Nguyen then added that ZG had witnessed everything herself. Hearing his daughter confirm it, Shangguan was deeply moved, seeing Kun Feng far exceed expectations. Overjoyed, he considered Kun Feng the city's new hope and vowed to meet the siblings next morning. Late that night, Lin Hai and Lin Daokai disguised themselves to infiltrate Kun Feng's villa. They saw flickering red light around the house, guessing it was fire elemental energy waves. Lin Daokai assumed Qin Feng was refining a fire god fruit. Hai saw it as the perfect time to strike. They agreed to kill Qin Feng and steal the ice god fruit from his ring. Lin Daokai summoned his spear, counting to 3 before charging. Before they could act, Kun Feng's ladder echoed, revealing he already knew. They panicked he wasn't inside. The laughter came from a preset speaker. Kun Feng suddenly appeared behind them with the bloodbone blade. Striking in a flash, Lin Daokai took a blazing sword slash to the back and fell. Flames devoured him as he screamed for help. Lin Hai cried out his brother's name in terror. Kun Feng advanced coldly, declaring it was now his turn. Hai summoned water energy to fight back. Kun Feng switched to ice to counter. He unleashed ice power, freezing Hai solid on the spot. Hai, terrified, asked how many elements Kun Feng could command. Kun Feng repeated his old warning to kill anyone who dared cross him again. Hai begged for mercy. Kun Feng replied coldly that he never broke his word. The bloodbone blade pierced the ice. Ending Hai's life, Kun Feng turned toward the speaker, still looping his laughter. He picked it up, glanced at the 2 3-star corpses, and sneered. He joked, unsure whether the Lin family was too stupid or he was just too good. At dawn, Lin Huyang rushed to report at the city lord's manor. Lin Jianhao's face twisted in shock, roaring for him to repeat. Huyang stammered that their eldest and 4th uncles had vanished since last night. Lin Jianhao raged, suspecting they'd met disaster despite their power. Shangguan Yunyang arrived, demanding Lin Jianhao present proof of innocence. Lin Jianhao faltered, mumbling excuses about complications. The city lord grew furious, accusing him of hiding the truth. The outburst terrified Jianhao and his son. He scrambled to justify himself, losing patience. Shangguan warned the alliance was coming to investigate and would punish him if no explanation was given. Lin Jianhao grew more flustered, stammering as he tried to explain. He knew if he failed, the Lin family would be erased by the alliance. He hastily begged the city lord for more time. Then he declared he knew exactly who held the ice god fruit. The city lord coldly ordered him to name the person. Lin Jianhao firmly said it was a youth named Feng. Shocking everyone, Shangguan and Nguyen Than froze upon hearing Qin Feng's name. Nguyen Than objected that the claim was absurd, but Lin Jianhao insisted and demanded to inspect Kun Feng's ring. Lin Huyan, frightened, urged his father not to speculate recklessly, but was scolded as Jianhao vowed to take Kun Feng down. The city lord warned that inspecting an earl's ring wasn't simple, requiring solid proof. Nguyen then furiously protested. Lin Jianhao admitted secretly sending Dao Kai and Hai to monitor Kun Feng. but they vanished overnight. Nguyen then scolded him for ignoring warnings. Jianhao bowed, claiming it was to uncover the truth. He then fabricated that Kun Feng had conspired with Chu Changtong to harm the Lin clan. The accusation stunned both Shangguan and Noon then. Lin Jianhao said Chu Changtong once proposed a deal but was refused, so Lin Zhongyu acted alone. During that trade, Kun Feng appeared stealthily and killed Lin Zhongyu. He continued that the two had used the Lin family's name to trigger the beast-tied Kun Feng, being the mastermind. Lin Huyang silently panicked at his father's clever lies, while Shangguan demanded real evidence. Lin Jianhao listed 3 points. First, Dao Kai and Ahai were likely killed by Kun Feng. Check the scene. Second, inspect Qin Feng's ring if the ice god fruit was there. Guilt was clear. Third, test his fire aptitude if low yet his cultivation high. It proved use of foreign essence. He guessed Kun Feng's strength came from absorbing the Emperor Flow Flame once traded with Chu Changtong. Shangguan nodded, admitting the logic wasn't baseless. A phone rang. Shangguan answered respectfully it was from the Alliance. He announced the Alliance overseer would arrive in 3 hours, carrying the ice god leaf for investigation. Lin Jianhao rejoiced, believing the relic would prove him right. The city lord warned if he was wrong, punishment would be doubled. Jianhao agreed. He secretly planned to use Qin Feng as the scapegoat, unaware the ice god fruit had long been refined. At Qin Feng's villa, the doorbell rang. Ziji cheerfully ran to open it. Qin Feng smiled, greeting her warmly and inviting her in, chatting happily. Ziaji's Shosho for missing their online match. The girl blushed, saying she'd been cultivating. Ziaji brought a suitcase just to deliver something, making Qin Feng guess it was a weapon. She confirmed it contained the nuclear warheads had requested. Qin Feng thanked her, and Ziji softly said it was to repay his kindness. He curiously asked why she wanted to repay him so earnestly. Blushing, she admitted it was gratitude for keeping her past secret. Qin Feng laughed, pretending to forget the incident, and changed the topic as Shua spoke up. While Shua made tea, Ziaji mentioned the Alliance's interest in a prodigy, possibly him. She explained those who qualified would be evaluated and directly rewarded by the Alliance. Excitedly, she added that higher grades earned rare relics, making Qin Feng beam. He eagerly asked for details of the test. Ziji said assessed talent and combat power just as Shua returned with tea. Ziji suddenly remembered Shua was also eligible, making the girl cheer with joy. Su hugs the tea in joy, almost spilling tea, making them both laugh. Qin Feng secretly plans to hide his real talent and use duels to level up. After thinking it over, he says he'll leave temporarily to train. Well prepared, Qin Feng enters a high-level desert death challenge map. He defeats the boss quickly with a bold strategy. Before fading, the furious boss curses losing to Qin Feng's nuclear warhead gamble. The system announces his first god tier clear, rewarding runes, skill stones, and talent potions. Happy with rewards for both fire and ice systems, he plans to boost his talent and gift Su. Without delay, he uses all rewards, upgrading fire talent to genius level and starts condensing runes. Then he uses ice runes. Progress hits 40 before completing the trial. Leaving the training room, Qin Feng is thrilled he can pass the exam. Checking stats, he sees all 4 elements reach supreme rank, power at 8,000. Dressed up, Qin Feng walks out, sees Su reading, and asks where TT is. Su laughs, saying she embarrassed Taidi, who left after 10 losses. She insists it was casual play, but Taidi got mad while Qin Feng is lightly scolded for not going easy. He gives her a rare potion, saying it's an icy attribute elixir stronger than ice god fruit. Su is shocked by its value. Qin Feng tells her to keep it secret, and she rushes to refine it. Suddenly, the doorbell rings, making Qin Feng wary. He opens it to see 2 strangers and one familiar face. Recognizing Vice City Lord Nyan, he greets him. The man introduces Lord Shangguan and Alliance Inspector Guyan Tuan. Qin Feng smiles, invites them in, realizing this is the test Taida mentioned. After serving tea, his calm demeanor impresses both the city lord and inspector. He modestly responds, tactfully deflecting their praise. Seeing the last guest, Qin Feng recognizes his lifelong enemy Lin Jianhao. He mocks him as the patriarch of illiterates, thickening the tension. Lin Jianhao rages, but Qin Feng meets his glare coldly. Ready to settle scores, Nguyen then tries to intervene, but Nguyen Tuan signals to handle it his way. The inspector sternly declares they're investigating the ice god fruit theft and beast tide. Suspecting Qin Feng and Chu Changtong, Qin Feng feigns surprise, loudly retorts that everyone blames the Lin clan and accusing him is vile. He stands, points at Lin Jianhao, claiming innocence and calling him a shameless liar. Humiliated, Lin Jianhao turns purple with fury, shouting to kill Qin Feng. The city lord sternly stops him, reminding him to keep decorum. As a councilman, he suppresses anger and shifts to questioning 2 missing people. Qin Feng feigns confusion and denies it. Lin Jianhao sneers, saying his evasiveness proves guilt, urging the inspector to search the house. Nguyen Tuan nods and orders soldiers to inspect the entire residence. 2 guards scatter to search while Lin Jianhao grins. Sure he'll find proof. The city lord calmly assures Qin Feng that if he's innocent, the truth will be clear. Qin Feng asks what if his framed Nguyen Tuan vows punishment regardless of who's guilty. Hearing that, Qin Feng smiles, feeling back to face the Lin clan. The search team returns, reporting the mission complete. A soldier reports the whole area clean. No signs of battle or strange sounds. Lin Jianhao panics, insisting his men came here, but the report confirms nothing unusual. Qin Feng angrily rebuts, accusing Lin Jianhao of lying though had erased all traces earlier. He had already wiped the scene clean with the system, leaving no evidence behind. The city lord coldly interrupts, ordering the case handed to the judicial department. Lin Jianhao frantically accuses Qin Feng of hiding the ice god fruit, but Nguyen Tuan sternly denies it. Nguyen Tuan says he already used the divine ice leaf to scan the area. When asked the result, he states there's 0 ice god fruit reaction nearby. Lin Jianhao freezes, stammering that Qin Feng must have hidden it elsewhere. Nguyen then shouts angrily, and Shangguan Yunyang Esli declares Lin Jianhao dismissed. Cornered, Lin Jianhao screams to test Qin Feng's fire talent as proof. Though displeased, Nguyen Tuan agrees and orders soldiers to ready the testing device. He adds the true goal is to assess Qin Feng, the city lord's recommended prodigy, and show the Southern Alliance's regard. The tech team carefully sets up the specialized measuring device. Qin Feng smiles confidently, already prepared to avoid suspicion. Nguyen Tuan confirms the fire element talent test to clarify all doubts. Qin Feng silently notes Lin Jianhao's malice but trusts fate favors him. He steps up to comply as officers fine-tune the settings. When ready, Qin Feng calmly places his hand on the sensor. Spiritual power flares, flames bursting around him to everyone's awe. The numbers rise steadily from 1 to 9. The room holding its breath. Level 9 shows a rare fire talent, just one step from genius rank. Lin Jianhao sweats, horrified by the near maximum reading. Suddenly the number jumps to 10, shattering all doubt and stunning the crowd. Gas fill the hall. Qin Feng is confirmed as a low-tier genius. The city and vice lords applaud. Unexpectedly, Qin Feng keeps channeling more power into the device. The reading breaks the limit, soaring to 11. The hall is awestruck and Nguyen then praises nonstop while Shangguan nods approval. Qin Feng doesn't stop, pouring all his power to break the ceiling. The number rises again 12. The chamber erupts. Everyone stares in shock at the impossible result. The officer finalizes the test, declaring fire talent level 12 higher genius, sparking cheers. Lin Jianhao goes pale, realizing the Lin clan's downfall is sealed. Nguyen Tuan solemnly declares him guilty and orders immediate arrest. Officers respond in unison, moving to carry out the command. In despair, Lin Jianhao charges at Qin Feng in a reckless attack. The city lord rushes to stop him, calling Qin Feng the lifeline of Yunyang City. But Lin Jianhao has gone mad, screaming for vengeance as Qin Feng faces him coldly. Qin Feng activates his spiritual power, flames swirling around his fists. As Lin Jianhao lunges, Qin Feng dodges and lands a crushing punch that sends him flying. Without giving his foe time to react, Qin Feng unleashes blows, demanding justice for the Lin clan's crimes against his brothers. Each strike grows fiercer as he pours out years of resentment, declaring he's no longer the same man. The leaders are stunned, watching 4-star master Lin Jianhao completely overwhelmed. Lin Jianhao's body is bruised all over, barely able to stand. Qin Feng gathers full strength for the final hit. Warning death awaits if Susu is ever harmed. The blow sends Lin Jianhao flying, collapsing motionless under everyone's horrified gaze. As the fight ends, Qin Feng calmly turns away, saying killing him would be too easy. Humiliation suits him better. Nguyen Tuan nods in agreement, ordering Lin Jianhao arrested and sent to the Alliance for judgment. He notes the charges are severe but due process remains, while Nguyen Than says death seems inevitable. When calm returns, Nguyen Than suggests granting Qin Feng merit points, which Nguyen Tuan approves. The city and vice lords cheer, hoping for a stellar score, as Qin Feng smiles shyly under their praise. The officer announces King earns 20 combat, 10 strategy, 70 talent, perfect 100 points, top-tier genius rank. The three leaders are stunned, then burst into joyous laughter at the flawless result. Nguyen Tuan praises Shangguan Yunyang for finding a prodigy who'll elevate the city's status. He adds rewards will arrive in 3 days, while Shangguan bids farewell as Qin Feng bows them out. After they leave, Qin Feng exhales in relief as Susu cheers. The Lin clan threat finally ended. Proudly, he declares himself the top genius in the region, promising her a prosperous life. Susu stares wide-eyed, doubting he'll truly protect her forever. Qin Feng nods firmly, vowing eternal loyalty and protection. Moved, Susu tiptoes to kiss his cheek. She smiles blissfully, calling him the best and promising to stay by his side. Qin Feng laughs, playfully pinching her nose as they watch the crimson sunset, savoring peace after the storm.